And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Probably not. Roger, planet.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside SPD off. Bring in SPD off. It's orange!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If the methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You bet. We don't need any more of these.
Yikes, you bet, concur. Welcome to another NASASpaceflight live stream. We are NSF. We're a large independent, well, large for some definitions of large. We're an independent news media organization that covers rocket launches around the country. That's who NSF is, and you are watching a live feed from Starbase, Texas, down here in Boca Chica, and you're looking at the launch site. I see questions in chat already, people asking, what are we doing here today? And it appears as though we have some Ship 26 testing to get into. We saw a preburner the other day. Today we could see, who knows, another preburner, maybe a static fire. The tricky thing with that is we are not aware of an overpressure notice having been delivered, but this wouldn't be the first time that SpaceX has conducted a static fire without an overpressure notice delivered. That's not even to say an overpressure notice might have been delivered and we're just not aware. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're hoping for, is some engine testing with good old Ship 26. You can see the QD there, where the propellants are loaded into the ship. That piping is frosty. The recondenser is on. So methane is being used in today's test. The lock side of the suborbital tank farm is active. So liquid oxygen and liquid methane are likely flowing into this vehicle. In fact, we're starting to see the discoloration on the tanks there that is indicative of super cold propellants being loaded into the ship. So once again, engine testing with Ship 26. Welcome, NSF. I'm Jack Beyer, your host for today, and luckily I'm not the only one flapping my gums. I'm also going to be joined by our ever-competent cohort of co-hosts, including Mr. Trevor Sesnick. Trevor, how are you doing today, buddy?
No, I'm doing really good. Waking up to a full stack and then now into some proper tank watching. It's been a good day, so no complaints here.
Why does your head look so tiny in your profile picture? You have a tiny head.
Blame the photographer.
All right, fair. That wide-angle lens on the iPhone can work wonders, or disasters.
Yeah, this is a disaster.
It's not disaster level. I'm just giving you a hard time. Also joining us on today's commentary is Alex. Alex, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm starting to see that discoloration that you were mentioning.
Yeah, you can
I
see
wouldn't
there
be-
on the liquid oxygen tank in particular, but I feel like it's on both tanks. So, good deal. As usual with NSF streams, if you have any questions, you can type them into chat. We do a little interactive kind of deal here. So type your question into chat, precede that question with @NASASpaceflight so that it pops up in some software that we have, and we'll see your questions and do fun things and answer your burning questions and hopefully see Ship 26 burn its engines. And oh look, Kevin. Kevin is in the background producing today's stream. Thank you, Kevin. There's his info on screen as well. So, yeah. Ship 26, engine testing. You know what? All right. Chat, listeners, viewers, everybody, Trevor, Alex, I have a confession. You know, I might have been responsible for some of the Ship 26 hate out there. And I'm not too big to not be able to admit when I'm wrong. So, you know what? I think it's time that I say I was wrong. Ship 26 good. And that's mostly based on more data, more better. We want to see more data added to the pile here. We want SpaceX to be able to confidently fire these things and gather whatever data they need that is necessary for them to be able to launch full stack starships left and right. So I'm not going to say I like 26. I don't. In fact, if you want to boo 26 still, you can still boo it. I'll probably still boo it. but I think on balance, Ship 26 good. Reactions. Trevor, go
Freedom of
first.
booing, right?
Well, I guess for me, it all comes down to what are they trying to test with this, and we still have no idea. But the best guess is that it's probably some changes either to plumbing for the engines or on the engines themselves. And like you're saying, those are changes that I like to see. So even though it's definitely not the most aesthetically pleasing ship, I'm gonna say mostly yay Ship 26, but still a little bit of boo.
Okay, fair. Alex?
I've always found this ship very difficult to look at.
I don't disagree. I just thought I'd start off for all the people who were annoyed at the booing at Ship 26. Just to admit, Ship 26 good, ugly, hate it. It's still good. Anyways, we'll get into your questions here. Johnny Mac is asking, since the pre-burner test was one engine, how many engines this time? Good question. This could be a 2-engine pre-burner. This could be a 6-engine pre-burner. This could be a 1 to 6-engine static fire, or it could be something else. We don't know. We don't get official updates from SpaceX like that. So, barring like a tweet from SpaceX right now that says, working on Ship 26 6-engine static fire, or something along those lines, we just aren't. We're in the dark, and that's part of the fun of tank watching. Is sort of, it's like fishing with your eyes. I don't know. It's kind of probably stretching the analogy, but we're sitting here waiting to see what we catch. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I was thinking if it were a 6-engine static fire test, we will notice because they usually fully load or at least almost fully load the liquid oxygen tank on the ships when they do a static fire test here with all 6 engines. So maybe we will have some kind of guess beforehand. Like if they don't fully load it or anything like it, then maybe we're not gonna be seeing a 6-engine static fire test. But let's see what happens.
Right, and that makes sense. They want to put some extra mass in the ship to to sort of counterbalance the thrust that all 6 Raptors would create.
Sort of like a ballast kind of thing.
Right. Okay, so I guess that leads to a question from me. I'll send this to both of you. We'll do Alex first. As you said, we might have some guesses here as the flow progresses and we get to see sort of more clues. But right now, sort of cold, off the cuff. Oh, look at that. Speaking of cold, you can see the condensation on the side of the tank wall. It's not frosty yet, but
it's cool, not cold right now.
Right. So there is, in fact, liquid oxygen in the liquid oxygen tank. That is excellent. But yeah, Alex, just going into this completely off the cuff, what do you think we might see today? Like, if you just had to make your best guess, pre-burner, spin prime, static fire, number of engines, just throw it out there.
I'm hoping for a full 6-engine static fire test. Because, I
would be nice.
I want that.
Right. I think we all want that. Trevor?
I'm gonna say 3-engine static fire.
Neat.
3-engine static fire? All right. Good deal. I have no idea. I'm not
look
even
at
gonna...
that.
Oh, engine chill pipes. Look at that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Another indication that they are loading liquid oxygen. And one of the things is that these usually start very early because they already contain some of that liquid oxygen, but you don't notice the engine chill actually happening until they are actually you see them venting. Not, I don't know, like right now it's more like when you leave the tap a little bit open and there's like some trickling coming off the, I don't know. That's the way that I explain it. Whereas the other way, it's sort of like you leave the tap open completely and let the flow go through. And so that's sort of how I will define it. It's a weird way, but it's how I think about it.
Good deal. All right. Well, you can see there the engine section and the engine chill pipes going on the left, and you can see on the right a view of the full entire Ship 26. We should have some pretty good views today with any luck. Oh, and I should mention a little bit later on in the stream, we have a fun fun thing to reveal and or announce. It's nothing really crazy, but it's a fun little thing. You know, it's a fun little thing to announce. So if I've tweaked your interest, and I know that was really a resounding, very interesting way to say that, but no, there's something fun coming a little bit later in the stream. So stay tuned for that. Whatever happens with Ship 26, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Y'all have to wait for that one. Maybe let's see, how many likes do we have so far? 569 likes, 3,500 watching. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna reveal the thing until we got some more likes. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's just not gonna work. Trevor.
Yes,
Is the
sir.
thing that you got fish people in your pockets so that they can approve this?
No, but that would be that would be nice. Trevor, Abv Bowden is asking over under percentage on Ship 26 ever flying. What do you think? Is this a flight article? Is this just a ground testing vehicle? Did it start off as one thing and end up as another thing? What's your take here?
Yeah, so, right, we know that this ship was originally meant to just be a build article where they wanted to get practice building the ship, so they decided to build a few without heat shield and without flaps. So then later it seems that they came up with a purpose, which seems to probably be testing something with the engines or plumbing or something like that. Again, we're
Right.
not 100% sure. So I don't want to say a 0% chance of it flying, because then if it does fly, I look like a real clown. But I'm going to say an arbitrarily small percent chance that it flies. So basically 0.
Very good.
Determine small epsilon, right?
Yeah, I was going to say epsilon, but
I have
Yeah,
no
that's
idea what
a
you're talking
math
about.
joke.
Get that math.
Yeah.
Get that math out of here. Don't make me do math. It's like every time you guys want to play Cambio, it's like, let's play Cambio. It's like, I don't want to do math. Get out of here. I want to play a game.
it's not math. It's like numbers.
We're not having this argument right now. Let's see. I do not know how to pronounce this name. I'm just going to say Ski Jump is asking, when did the stack happen? My friend, that was this morning at like 5 or 6 a.m. We have a full stack again, as you can see. Yay! Yay, full stack.
You woke up to a text of me saying that, right?
No, I was actually already awake and at the pad. Boo, Ship 26. Boo.
You were still there.
I was at the pad setting up cameras. So yeah, I got that text, and then I actually didn't respond to you until, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes later when I was about to leave and head down Highway 4 to do the flyover, which I should mention, we did a flyover today. There will be photos for members. If you're a member, you will get photos. If you want photos, become a member. And there will be a flyover video probably Monday-ish.
Which I will be writing.
Right, so yeah, so that's a thing. If you want some aerial views to sort of wrap your head around what's going on at Starbase, that is something that's coming a little bit later on today. In fact, just the way things lined up, thank goodness, I was at the pad this morning setting up cameras, and it was not stacked. And in the time it took me to drive to the airport, get in the plane, climb up to 10,500 feet, and get out to the pad, they stacked it. So it's flyover photos with a full stack. So bonus. Let's see here. Oh wow, Vanishing Image, gifting a Red Team membership, and Blackhawk New Zealand becoming a launch director member. Thank you so much for doing that, Blackhawk.
Sneak peek of the flyover.
Oh, nice work, Kevin. Yeah, that was from this morning. Ralph Chilton, thank you for the support. 27 months as a Capcom member. They say moo. Nathan Houghton, thank you for the 29 months of Capcom membership. They say, fire that silver bullet. I hope so. I really hope we see this thing fire up some engines today. I love the static fire testing on the suborbital pads, just because it's a totally different monster than the orbital pads. It reminds me of the olden days, if I can call them that. And it's just, the views we're able to get are pretty sweet. Trevor, say words. You sound like you want to say something.
No, it really does remind me of the good old days, like when we were watching MK1 get cryo-tested, and then SN4 with its silly hat conduct the first static fire and then blow up, and then later ships. It really is nostalgic.
Good deal. Yeah, I feel the same way. Alex, what do you feel about this like traditional, old style, down home tank watching?
I don't know. I'm just thinking that they're probably trying out hot staging because look at that below the ship. It's a booster.
It is indeed a booster.
I think
Much-
that's booster 11 at Massey's.
Yeah, right. Isn't that silly? Sean was pointing that out earlier. It's a pretty neat little alignment.
Hot staging. There we go.
Yeah. It's a hot stage test. Haha. Jokes. Let's see here. RC Horseman gifting 5 Red Team memberships. Blackhawk New Zealand, who just became a launch director, gifting 2 Red Team memberships. Thank you again, Blackhawk. And a third one. You're awesome. We really couldn't do what we do without the members. I'm sure you've all heard me say it many times, but it's the honest truth. I don't know what we would do without the members. So thank you so much. We hope you enjoy the perks. We put a lot of work into them. And like I said, there's going to be some flyover images coming later today. There's behind-the-scenes stuff. There's members-only streams every now and then. There's all kinds of good stuff for members. So we hope you like the additional content, and we darn sure appreciate the support. Moldy Space! Good old Moldy. Love you, Moldy. They gifted 5 Red Team memberships because they're the best. Thank you, Moldy. Musical Wolves, thank you so much. They say, can Ship 26 cook bacon during a static... We always get this. How do we always get the bacon cooking questions? Like, yes, I know I like bacon, but just cook it in the oven. Just cook it in the oven. Ryan, thank you for the support. They say, stop with the 26 slander. She's beautiful just the way she is. Did you not hear the beginning of the stream? But thank you for the support. DJ Tom Woofer, thank you for becoming a Red Team member. Blushy Boy, gifting 5 Red Team memberships because they're awesome. Thank you, Blushy Boy. And Jason Topping, thank you for the support. They say, can they static fire both engine types at the same time? Yes, in fact, they can.
Yeah. And they have that.
Jason Topping, I don't know if it's just because it's close to Halloween, but like I'm picturing like little hockey mask like sprinkles for ice cream. It's a Jason Topping. Anyways. No, I thank you both for really enjoying that joke.
I assumed I was missing something, to be honest.
You probably were. I assume
Probably.
you. Yeah. Anyways, let's just move on. Garbo Plays is asking, how do we know it's a static fire today? We don't, but we hope. Is that an accurate portrayal of the situation, Trevor?
Yeah, I would say so. Like Jack was saying at the top of this stream, we don't know if there has been an overpressure notice, and even if there has not been one, it has happened before where they'll static fire anyway. So we're just inferring based off of the pre-burner testing earlier this week that this is likely a static fire. However, very much could be another pre-burner test or some additional testing.
Good deal. Alex, anything you want to add there?
Well, right now it's really hard to say whether it's one thing or the other.
Well, we'll just have to keep watching and answering questions and hanging out, and hopefully we will get some more information, or at least be able to deduce some things as this test progresses. Brian Soul is asking, any FAA news? Alex?
Well, apart from the whole drama that has been going on this week because of the comments by SpaceX and everything, other than that, there's not really anything else in the actual news front. In the how are things going, right? With the
Right.
fish people and the regulatory stuff and everything. Other than the complaints, we don't really know about that realm of news.
Right. Well, I mean, the only news that I could think that's in this realm, and it's not FAA, it's Fish and Wildlife Service, aka the fish people.
Oh, well, yeah.
They were out at the pad yesterday with a skid steer, and they put up a tent out on the flats, or of shade, and they were doing some work out in the flats. So clearly, they are working on getting all of this, researched, checked off, approved. So no news there, no approval has been announced or anything like that, but it's just good to see them on site doing work, hopefully gathering the data that they need so that we can get the full stack off the ground here once again. Nathan Gladden says, happy 6 months since IFT1. Wow, that's right. It's 6 months ago, April 20th. I still can't believe it launched on 420.
I still can't believe that Michael guessed the exact date, like, what, 9 or 10 months in advance? That annoys me most.
If you guys are longtime listeners / watchers or whatever, you've known that I always say Michael is smart, listen to Michael, and that's for a reason. Even if it's just blind sheer luck. He's blessed by the gods. We miss you, Michael. No, oh my god, I just said it out loud.
Whoa!
Can we delete that? Can we?
2:47:20. I'm gonna send him a timestamp.
No. Oh no. Oh, what have I done? In my panic about saying that out loud, I accidentally deleted the question. I did not get the rest of the question. Dang it.
It was like, did you think we would be here again in 6 months or something along those lines?
Yeah, I think that's about what I guessed at the time. I bet if you go back and watch a Starbase update from that time frame, I guess around 6 months. But there was like that period of time, right, where right after launch, where it was like, oh wow, oh geez. But then very quickly, sort of, it just seemed like, no, everything's basically okay-ish. It won't take too. It's not like it's going to take 2 years to fix. But yeah, there was that brief period of time right after the flight where it was like, I think the pad was closed for like 3 days or something. It was just like, oh no, please, little rebars, hold strong.
I feel like in general, the first news is usually the worst news, and that was definitely the case here.
Let's see here. Larcy 321 is asking, what's the road closure for Sunday? Do we have any visibility into that Sunday road closure, Alex?
Well, it says something along the lines of it being something to prepare in order for launch preparations or something. I don't know. It does sound like it is something related with a wet dress rehearsal. I don't remember the exact. I'm actually looking it up right now, but I don't remember the exact wording of the closure.
Look it up really quickly. I'm just going to say, Moldy Space is bribing me to on air say something nice about Cambio, but they didn't specify that I actually had to say like a nice thing about it. All I have to say, according to the letter of the law here, is quote something nice about Cambio. So thank you, Moldy Space.
I found it, by the way, Alex. It says this Sunday closure is necessary based on the unique circumstances involving testing of 2 separate starships in preparations for upcoming launch approvals. So
see, that's weird. On the Cameron County website doesn't say that for some reason, which I hate that.
Yeah, wasn't there a sheriff tweet? Is that what you're talking about, Trevor?
Yep.
Yeah,
I can
that might have
spam it
been
in
the one.
chat if people are interested.
Yeah, please do. And there it is on screen as well.
See, I don't follow the sheriff. Sorry.
There, I spammed it in chat, so.
Based on unique circumstances involving testing of 2 separate starships in preparations for upcoming launch approvals. Now, maybe I'm reading like way too far into the tea leaves here, but testing of 2 separate starships in preparations for upcoming launch approvals. There's actually a good amount of information there if I'm not just completely, miles down Speculation Creek without a paddle. But this leads me to believe that the Ship 26 engine testing that we've seen could perhaps be related to gathering data for the launch approval. I don't know what that might be. Maybe it's like they've enacted a mitigation on the ship on Ship 26 that they also enacted on Ship 25, and they're trying to test that under like a flight or testing condition. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, I'm probably reading way too much into this, but we're all sort of wondering, why are they testing Ship 26 now of all times? It wouldn't shock me if they are trying to, in fact, gather some data that would be useful in some way to getting launch approval. What that might be or why that might be, your guess is as good as mine. But interesting note there from the sheriff. I always love when we get a little bit of extra information or little tea leaves to sort of sift through. Do I sound insane? Am I wearing a tinfoil hat? Tell me if I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, Trevor.
I think it's just really bizarre phrasing on the sheriff's part. My best guess is that it's probably wet dress on Sunday, but again, the two starships is just, I don't know. But no, I do not think you're wearing a tinfoil hat.
Not this time, anyways. Alex,
Not this
what's your take?
Well, it does sound like that. It also sounds like they're gonna be doing both wet dress and Ship 26's static fire. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Or there's
I think we're still expecting a wet dress rehearsal with the full stack, right?
yeah, and there's another thing lingering in my head right now, given the wording. Could it be, and again, you could say this is also tinfoil hat moment, but could it be that when it says two separate starships in preparation for upcoming launch approvals, it means the two stages of a starship
That's what
rather
I think.
than rather than full stack and Ship 26? I don't. Wild idea here. Like,
Huh.
what if it means that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't
Not a bad
think
hypothesis. Go ahead.
I definitely am not convinced that the wording means two separate starships, which would almost certainly be Ship 26 and Ship 25. I think there's enough, I don't know what the right word is, but weirdness in the phrasing that it could also be Booster and Ship 25. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I get what both of you are saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong, or even that I disagree, but my reading of it was, I guess, had a little bit more tinfoil in it, perhaps. Yeah. Good stuff. Keep your questions coming, everybody. We're all hanging out, waiting to see a frost line rise on the ship. Speaking of, Alex, do we have frost?
I think I see some white already on the right hand screen there. Might be my eyes though, so I really don't know.
All right, well, we'll keep our eyes open and trained on the ship here. Gosh, I love this close-in view. Thank you again to Andrew for getting this
there we
camera
go.
up and running, because holy cow, that was a bit of an ordeal for him mostly. Like 5% me, but like 95% him, easy.
I can see already some condensation,
Excellent.
like turning into frost.
Is that okay? That's condensation in the air. I thought I was seeing like heat waves or something, but that didn't make any sense because obviously it's cold, not hot. But no, that is just the vapor in the air that's condensing off the side of the ship tank wall. Neat. Oh, okay, Trevor, I'm gonna give you some homework. Alex, if you know it off the top of your head, feel free to interrupt. Planet Zoo Gamer is asking, is this the most engines ever for a second stage? And while you think about that, I'm going to thank Christopher Moreau for the 1 month of a Pad Rat membership, RC Moore for the membership milestone, also 1 month of Red Team, they say fish, Jonathan Doe, $5 super chat, thank you. They say bacon and air fryer. I love the streams. And isn't an air fryer just okay, I'm gonna make some enemies in chat. Isn't an air fryer just basically a toaster oven with a fan in it? Like, I don't get the appeal of an air. Like, my whole family has air fryers. Like, oh my god, this air fryer is so great. Anyways, I digress.
Okay. I can confidently say that this is not the most engines on a second stage. The Jupiter C rocket had 11 solid rocket motors on its second stage and 3 on its third stage. I don't know if that's the highest, but it certainly seems to be.
Yeah.
And
Question well answered. Thank you. Alex, go.
And if you want to go to liquid fuel rockets, then you have the Saturn 1 rocket, which had the S4 stage, which it is not the S4B, it is the S4, the original S4 stage, which had 6 RL-10 engines. So that was a really big engine count for an upper stage back in the day. Obviously for a liquid fuel rocket, not the, because Jupiter C, yeah, with 11 solar rocket motors or whatever, that's a lot of solar rocket motors, but these were liquid fuel engines.
I I appreciate both of your answers, and I'm glad that we know that no, the answer is no, it's not the most engines on a second stage, but I'm way more enthralled with the fact that chat is utterly divided about air fryers. Some people in chat are saying they rule, some people are saying it's basically just a toaster oven with a fan. I've air fried bacon. It's good. It's basically the same as oven bacon. I don't see the appeal, but maybe I'm just dumb. I mean, I am dumb, but maybe I'm dumb specifically about this. Christopher Moreau, again, thank you so much. They say fan in France, SpaceX, NSF. Thank you so much. Music Duck. That's a cute name. Thank you for the 10 Red Team membership gift. That's awesome. If you got a gift of a membership in chat, be sure to thank the person that gifted it to you. That's awfully nice of them. Speaking of awfully nice, Moldy Space gifting 5 Red Team memberships because I said something nice about Cambio, even though I hate it. Thank you, Moldy Space. I don't hate you. The Mad Scientist with a $5 super chat, thank you. They say, how are they going to stack it with Mechazilla with no flaps? They can't keep the crane hooked on when launching it. They don't lift... Oh, I am seeing Frost now. Look at that.
That's definitely Frost.
Hooray. Testing progresses as we hope. They don't lift the ship on the flaps. There's actually little nubs that are located near, but not on the flaps.
Okay. I thought we were actually going up to the points.
Yeah, Alex, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, there are 2 points, like sort of little holes where the knobs on the chopsticks go in. There we go. We're going up. So you're gonna see them. And so these are basically located a little bit below where the flaps are located, but they are not related at all with the flaps. Like they are not connected in any sort of shape or form with the flaps. That is, yeah, they are there. It's a bit dark.
Right. So not necessary to have flaps to lift with the chopsticks, though. I sincerely doubt we ever see this vehicle stacked on top of a booster. I don't know. I'll shave my face clean for a year or something. I don't know.
Will you dye your beard pink?
Ooh. You know? Yeah, I would dye my beard pink if they ever stack this vehicle on top of a booster. You heard it here. Thing is, though, after they fly 25 and booster 9, I'm going to shave again, because I shave when they fly. That's how it works. I don't shave it when they don't fly, and then I shave when they fly. So if I was to dye my beard pink, like, right now, it would only be like that for however long it takes them to fly, which hopefully wouldn't be that long. But I don't think we're going to see Ship 26 stacked, at least not anytime soon. So, problem for future me, I guess. Juan Lambers, thank you so much for the support there. They say, could it be related to the recent videos spreading of SpaceX and others being in talks with Congress to fasten FAA approvals? Double Starship events to fasten the process. I don't really see a connection between those two things. But yeah, I don't know. Does anyone else want to add anything here? It certainly signals readiness.
No, I'll just remind everyone that the FAA did not even have a representative at the Senate hearing yesterday, or 2 days ago. So I think if any changes are made off of that, this is the government that we're dealing with, so it'll take several weeks, months, or I don't know, periods of time. But right. I do not think that any of what we've been seeing in Starbase is because of that hearing.
Right.
I wouldn't. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't put it past SpaceX being as good at optics as they can be to sort of do a bunch of testing in the week where they know eyes are going to be on South Texas and they know this hearing is going to happen. But that said, again, I'm probably getting a little tinfoil hat there. It really is just the fact that they have a lot of vehicles to test. They have a lot of hardware to fly, and that's just how SpaceX does. They build it, they test it, they fail, they try again, they roll that data back in, and they test some more, and they fly some more, and that's literally how they iterate. So, probably unrelated. I think you're right, Trevor. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I have 2 points here. One of them is that the wet dress rehearsal, we knew it was going to happen even before that Senate hearing that happened on Wednesday. Like, we had an actual tweet a few days before that from SpaceX. We had a full stack. They destacked the day after, but otherwise, we knew that was going to happen. It didn't really change just because, we had that Senate hearing. The other point I would like to make, and I actually kind of make this point on the upcoming This Week in Spaceflight episode where we talk about that, is that not only they did not invite anyone from the FAA on that Senate hearing, but also it doesn't matter how much they discuss things if they don't actually do things, because at the end of the day, it's Congress, the ones that, dictate this kind of things. And so if a SpaceX is like, hey, we want the FAA to work more, effectively, it needs more staff, more people, and things like that, so that they can handle this increasing inactivity and everything, basically. Sure, they can say all they want, but at the end of the day, it's Congress, right? And so far, we haven't really seen anything at all. Even from the people that were there in the Senate hearing, they were like, the senators were like, oh yeah, we need to do this thing, this other thing. But yeah, sure, words are not worth anything unless you do something.
Right.
That's my only point here.
Yeah, that's fair. Good point. Craig Lewis, thank you for the 8-month membership milestone. They say, when Starship beer? If it's anything like the Tesla beer, I hope never. The nozzle. Thank you, the nozzle. Do not be alarmed. It's just the nozzle. Thank you for gifting a Red Team membership. Six String Simpleton. That's another one of those names that pops up all the time. Thank you for the 10-month of Pad Rat. They say, changing my name to East Coast, Best Coast. Say it, Jack. There you go. I said it. Just for you, buddy. Aiden Traeger, thank you for the support. 6-month Red Team membership milestone. They say, how many engines does Ship 26 have? Trevor, take it away.
It has 6, so it has the 3 central RC engines and the 3 outer RVAC engines. And there's another question in chat asking for which engines those are, so I dug it up. The RVACs are R205, R202, and R212. And the RCs are R193, R195, and 198.
Amazing. Thank you for that. I saw that question in the queue, and I was hesitant to ask it because I didn't know if we knew, because I didn't know. But thank you for digging that up. Of course you did, Trevor.
Yeah, I think
a man of the data. Go ahead.
a lot of the credit for that goes to the Ring Watchers. They stock engines all around, and it's remarkable how they just know everything.
Yep, Ring Watchers absolutely rule for that sort of coverage. Props to them for it. I really miss seeing Raptors on a more frequent basis. Like, remember the era when the Raptors would just be delivered right out front and they would have like memes written on them or like stickers? Yeah. I miss that. Let's see here. But yeah, props to the Ring Watchers for that. They rule. Sarah's Victoria is best waifu. That's a Hellsing reference. What the heck? I just said that out loud on a live stream. Is Ship 26 possibly an HLS ship? Alex, why is it not?
Oh, well, so if you look at it, you think, oh, it doesn't have flaps, it doesn't have heat shield. Of course it's an HLS, right? No, HLS has way more things than just, not have flaps and not have heat shield. Namely, things like, just the living space for the people, things like the landing thrusters and things like that. Like, it has a ton of other mechanisms and hardware that are for HLS that are not present in this ship. At the end of the day, if you just look at Ship 26, what it is actually, you should think about it more not as some kind of prototype of anything, but rather just a normal ship that was stripped of its flaps and heat shield. Like, it doesn't really have anything that is, that you will expect to see on any sort of other vehicle, like a tanker, a depot, an HLS, like whatever, right? And it is more like just what it is. That is a ship, normal ship, without its flaps and without its heat shield, basically. In fact, the section that you're seeing right there, excuse me. Oh boy.
You okay?
The section, yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
Alex, you breathe the air, you drink the water. It's not the other way around, buddy.
The section that is right now getting frosty, that is actually new. The one that was originally supposed to be for Ship 26 is right now on Ship 28. That already tells you that this vehicle is sort of like a Franken monster kind of thing, where somewhere in the middle of building it, they just basically were like, you know what? We're not gonna use this part. We're not gonna put this other thing. We're not gonna put this other part, right? And so they just, the mid-lock section, the one that is getting frosty right now, that one was already very tiled. It was, with all the heat shield tiles and everything. So what they did, instead of, scrapping it, we're like, okay, well, we'll give it to ship 28. So, yeah. I'm trying to make my case here that it is nothing special. But the only thing that I think is special here is that probably the engines rather than the vehicle itself.
Yeah, I mean, the two things that people always ask about Ship 26, which are completely logical to ask, to be fair, are, is it a human landing system mock-up in some way, or is it a tanker in some way? And basically both of those ideas are sort of vetoed by what you just said there, Alex, is that there's no extra hardware on here that's visible or that we know of that would be indicative of a tanker ship or a human landing system ship. It's literally just a ship that was faster to build because they didn't put flaps or a heat shield on it. That's it. It's nothing more than that.
You remember what I said about the engine chill pipe?
Go.
About the tap being a little bit open or fully open?
Right.
I think it's now fully open. I think that's engine chill proper.
If you had to guess a T0 based on what we've seen so far, what would you guess? And this is a total guess, everybody out there watching. This is liable to be completely wrong, but I'm holding Alex's feet to the fire. I'm saying all this because Alex never likes to actually put numbers on things when I ask him to guess. But Alex, you've had enough time to think about it as I'm rambling. Guess.
I cannot guess if I don't have any previous data. I'm not the guy with a spreadsheets and everything of propellant load. That's Adrian, but Adrian is right now somewhere else, so we cannot really use his help. I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes, perhaps 30, somewhere around that. They can always hold as well, so it's really complicated because it used to be 12 minutes. I remember once when we had SN8, SN9, and all of those. It used to be 12, but lately it's been a bit, back and forth. So I am not fully sure. Might be more than 12 minutes. But that's why I'm saying 20, maybe.
All right,
to
good
cover
deal.
my back here.
My guess is before the heat death of the universe.
I will never not laugh at a heat death of the universe joke. Thank you for that one.
No problem.
Some people saying that it might be at 4:20 Eastern.
Could be.
30:20.
Somebody in chat was saying that the pre-burner test was timed 69 seconds after 4:20. Is that true?
I think it was more like 74-ish.
Close enough.
Yeah. Somebody's asking if I'm a politician. No, I'm not, but I definitely would not like to go into that kind of realm.
I'd vote for you.
You're too smart, Alex.
I'd vote for you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Chad is telling me it was Stephen Shard that said the timing thing. So yeah, if you're just joining us, if you're tuning in and wondering what the heck is going on, what are we even looking at? This is Ship 26. It is on Suborbital Pad B, and as you can see, its LOX tank is mighty frosty. So we are expecting to see a static fire test, or a spin prime test, or a pre-burner test, some sort of engine testing today because methane is involved. So we are standing by and watching them load propellants onto this thing and hoping that we get to see some fiery action today. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get to see some sweet Raptor exhaust plumes. I would be very pleased. I would be very exceptionally pleased. Just because, once again, seeing these tests on the suborbital pads, it's just, it feels right. It feels like I'm home. Right, Trevor?
It really does. I was actually on YouTube the other day, and it was suggesting to me some of the original Starhopper live streams that I think you and Tim were right next to each other for, and those also really brought me back.
Got a little bit of venting from ship. That's fine. Yeah, can I just say, I love each and every one of these streams that we do. I absolutely love doing this. Thank you to everybody who listens to my stupid, annoying voice and my stupid jokes, because holy cow, this is fun. That said, there are some streams that really stand out, like the I-4 stream, the SN8 stream, and the Scrub stream the day before, like the 12-hour one, the Artemis 1 stream, all kinds of really good streams that we've done that really kind of stick out in my mind. And it wasn't a stream we did, but way back in the Starhopper days, hanging out on Andy's roof with Tim, that was like one of those first times, Trevor, where I got a taste of live streaming. And every now and then I would just like annoy Tim and like chime in with some stupid factoid, but I had so much fun doing it. And then right as NSF started spooling up our whole live system, I was like, hey, yeah, I'll go on the live stream. That sounds fun to me. And 4 years later, or however many years later, here we are. So that's cool that it was recommending those to you, Trevor. Those are some really, really special times with some really good people.
Yeah, I think one of them that was recommended was even like the first spin prime test on our hopper.
Yeah, Trevor Mullman and I were at Isla Blanca Park for one of those tests, a pre-burner or a spin prime or something. And, we were 5 miles away and barely saw anything because it was like a single engine and it was a whole thing. But at the time, it was like, oh my God, they fired up a Raptor. And like it was... Oh man, how far we have come.
And that is also why we have on the intro Tim's quote of water towers can fly, because you were actually next to him and your camera grabbed that audio.
I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful that my camera's audio grabbed him saying that. It's like one of those iconic moments. It's, like they say, like a flashbulb memory. I have a flashbulb memory of that moment, and it is extremely precious to me. Let's see here. Enough waxing nostalgic. Musical Wolves, thank you for the support. They say air fryer to the moon. Man, is Chris B around? Can we get an air fryer poll in chat? Eric, thank you for the support. They say, I was wondering what you think about the probability that they could static fire Ship 25 while it is attached to get data on how it might affect the booster, or is that completely bonkers? Yes, it's completely bonkers. That would be a terrible idea. I don't think that would go well. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Well, I usually say that it is a bad idea to test that sort of thing near your like testing that on the pad is really complicated because it's not made for that kind of test, right? And also, as I usually try to mention most of the times, is that the conditions on the ground are not the same as the ones in flight. The way that the expansion of the engine exhaust works on the ground, it's not the same as on as the one that is gonna happen at the altitude of staging, which we think it's somewhere around 60, 70, 80 kilometers high up. Right. That is around near vacuum, right? It's not complete perfect vacuum, but it's near vacuum. And if you saw, all rockets, when they go up, their exhaust normally expands as the atmospheric pressure decreases. And so instead of being like a concentrated jet of exhaust, it is actually more like a spread out kind of thing. And so that actually, that is very important for when you want to have that kind of system. When you want to test that kind of system, you don't test it on the ground in those conditions, because those conditions are not the same as the ones that you're going to encounter up there in near vacuum. And so I don't think even if they tested that, it will be a good replica of the whole thing.
Right. Makes sense. Trevor, anything to add before we move on, buddy?
Just that when you're doing a test like that, you would much rather it happens in the air around none of your GSE than right next to your launch pad that has taken several years to build.
Correct. And months to rebuild.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have an air fryer poll. I love you, Chris. I'm gonna say, there's none. I don't know. I'm gonna go bad. I'm gonna say bad. Wow, chat heavily in favor of air fryers so far. There's an air fryer poll in chat. Voice your opinion as we wait to see Ship 26 hopefully fire up its engines in some form or shape. We don't know that it's going to be a static fire. We don't know if it's going to be a pre-burner or a spin prime or just a tanking test or what. But we're sitting here hanging out. The road is closed. There's a soft block and a hard block. There are, it's a full testing flow here. So hopefully whatever we see today is interesting and we get some cool Starship action, and more importantly, SpaceX adds some more data to its data pile. Nuclear fallout. thank you for being a launch director for 18 months. Holy cow, thank you. SpaceX Edition air fryer, Raptor powered, can cook a whole pig in 3 seconds. In all seriousness, an air fryer is a toaster oven with an extra convection power. Weird.
In 3 seconds? But I want it now.
That's 3 seconds too long. Matthew Dahl, thank you for the support so much. Another one of those common names that pops up. They say, Ship 26 isn't the only one who is bald. For the record, woo Ship 26. Yes, I am bald. So is Crispy. Hashtag bald gang. One less thing to worry about. Lawrence, thank you for the support. They say, does Jack only shave when Starship intentionally flies, or do RUDs count if Starship leaves the pad? Hey, if the full stack leaves the pad, I'm shaving. It's about that time. Is asking what are the 4 towers? There are no 4 towers. Get out of here. Good try, though. Blake Alexander, thank you for the gifted memberships, 5 of them. Joe M, thank you for the support. They say Uncle Jim is goated. I don't know who Uncle Jim is, but perhaps he's even goated with the sauce, as the kids say, I'm told. Joe M again with another super chat. Tell my Uncle
real?
Jim he is goated, Jack. Uncle Jim, you are goated. What is this? On God?
Oh God. No cap.
I don't think that's cap, Alex.
I'm the
Zather's,
youngest one here, and I feel so old when you guys say these things.
I feel old also. I mean, it's bad. It's like cringe bad, but hey, I'm trying. No, I'm not. Zathers is saying, this is super nostalgic to see a Bear ship, but it looks so grown up now and refined compared to other Bear ships. Thank you, NSF. Thank you for the support, Zathers, for those 7 months of Red Team membership. It does. If you compare Ship 26, as wonky and ridiculous as it looks, to previous ships, it really does look improved in terms of the build quality. And as they are building these ships, they keep adding more greebles and vents and all sorts of cool things. I love me a good, well-greebled ship. But yeah, I mean, just look at Mark 1 or SN5 or SN8 or any of the previous ships by comparison. They look downright hilarious compared to today's build quality, and it's equally amusing because Ship 26 looks hilarious, for a variety of reasons, but also just in comparison to the ships they have in work at the production site right now. I mean, 30, 31, and 32 are looking great. So is 28, 28 and 29. Let's see. I guess this is for Trevor. LSR is saying, quote, Ship 26, hi, it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Please do not boo me. That's a Taylor reference, right, Trevor?
Yes, from an album that came out exactly 1 year ago today.
That's actually, you know what? That's a good track. I'm admitting it. I like that track.
Yeah, 10 p.m. tonight, I will be having a listening party for it. Actually, I would get in trouble for saying that.
Member Discord?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, we could do it in the member Discord.
That might be fun. We'll have to mute everybody though, so we can actually listen. IndyCar, thank you for the support. They say testing updated and assembly processes and polling. They're probably talking about, we were wondering what they might be testing with Ship 26. Plausible. Rohan, thanks for the support. They say, why Ship 26 or upcoming Naked ships or HLS mockups can perform tri-vent engine chill? I think they can perform if they doesn't need heat tiles. I'm not sure what they're asking here. I mean, they wouldn't put a tri-vent on a ship anymore. They have a whole different system for that now. So there's no sense to go back to an older design, right?
Yeah, and this that you're seeing here, this type of engine chill, that is basically the same one that we've seen on Ship 24, Ship 25 also has it, and future vehicles, I believe Ship 28 has it as well. This is basically like some sort of new way that they are using these pipes and sort of conduits to be able to do the engine chill venting.
Good deal.
But yeah.
Cool. Matrix is asking a Ship 25 question. They're saying, does Ship 25 still have hydraulic TVC, or has it been upgraded to electric? It's still hydraulic, right, Alex?
Yes, it is hydraulic. Ship 26 has electric.
Right. Versus Booster 9. Booster 9 is electric compared to Booster 7, which was hydraulic. It's just ships are sort of changing over to that electric TVC a little bit later.
I think SpaceX is extraordinarily happy that they no longer have to replace the HPU every like other week on Booster because they fried so many of those things on Booster 7.
I am also happy about that. Cool. Let's do some more questions. Khalid is asking, could Ship 26 purpose be testing thinner steel? You know, I'm still waiting to see a roll of steel show up at Starbase that's not 4 millimeters. I've been waiting for literally years to see a ship with thinner tank walls, and I'm still wondering if and when that's going to happen. But who
Yeah,
knows?
because they had the test tank with thinner steel, and if I remember correctly, Elon tweeted that it performed well. And
Right.
then since that, we've just seen absolutely nothing with thinner steel.
Right. So go figure. So no, Khalid, I don't think that's the case here. But I mean, good shout. We are still waiting for that development to sort of take place.
Yeah, we know that because we also see the barrel sections scrolling in, and when this was stacked, we didn't see anything that indicated there were thinner steel barrel sections. And the only section on this vehicle that is thinner than the rest of the vehicle is the well, I refuse to call it the payload base section, but it will be the payload base section, basically the 5-ring barrel section that is immediately below of the nose cone. That is 3.6 millimeter instead of being 4, but other than that, that is basically not new either. That's being on Ship 24. Ship 25 has had it as well, so I don't know. There's nothing really new in that realm.
Good deal. Well, you know what is new in the realm at NSF? I teased something earlier on the stream. I said we were going to release a thing. Well, let's talk about that. We have a merch store. The merch store is awesome. The store team puts a whole bunch of work into it. This patch that we have for IFT2 also took a lot of work. Props to Pauline and the entire store team for getting this thing out. It is absolutely beautiful. It's flawless. It's no different than what you would get if you worked at a launch provider or as a member of the media and you got patched as part of working on or covering a launch. It is a fabulous patch, and it comes in a variety of patch-like forms, including stickers, mugs, shirts, hats, bottles, hoodies, whatever sort of thing you want to do. Mouse pads even, I think. The patch exists. It's an awesome design. That's not new, though. What is new, and what we are having fun announcing today, is, that's right, it's that time of year, the NSF 2024 calendar. Check it out. And actually, it's the 2024 calendars. You can see we're doing the same sort of thing we did last year, where we have a general spaceflight calendar, and we also have a Starbase specific calendar. And these things are absolutely gorgeous, featuring all kinds of photography from all of our different photographers. You can see the Starbase calendar has a Cybertruck towing a Raptor on the front. Like, how is that image even real? I'm still utterly bamboozled that Sean shot such a cool image. I mean, I'm not bamboozled because he's a good photographer, but like, how is that real? And of course, the general spaceflight calendar has a whole bunch of other goodies in it too. It's got a Dragon launch on the cover, and it's got, 12 months of amazing photos. Both of them do. So if you have a spaceflight nerd in your circle and you have no idea what to get them for the holidays or just to be a nice person, maybe get them a calendar, because everyone needs a calendar, right? And you're helping out the channel, and it's just, a nice way if you don't want to do the whole thing with a print and get it on your wall and all of that stuff, calendar. Get the calendar. I'm just going to keep saying it. Get the calendar. Get the calendar. It's awesome. Look at that. Look at that shot from Julia. It's amazing. Get the calendar. Get the calendar. Why are you not getting the calendar? Get the calendar. Okay, I think that's sufficient. There's our fun announcement. I hope you all enjoy these images as much as we enjoyed making them, and we hope and are really honestly humbled by anybody that wants to put our imagery up on their wall. That's really nice. So thanks. Cool. So we are 3:26 local time. We could be getting very close here. It's hard to say where we are in the flow, but this is, Alex, is this more frost than we saw with the pre-burner on the LOX tank?
You know what? I haven't checked, but one thing that I can say is that the frost line hasn't risen quite a lot. Like, it's been pretty much standstill in the past 2, 3, 4 minutes. So if I were to guess, maybe this is it in terms of the amount of liquid oxygen. So if they do a static fire test, maybe it's not all 6 engines. Because
I just
that's
went
not full
to
enough though. We'll see.
I just went to the stream from yesterday, and the current frost level is about the same between yesterday's pre-burner test, or sorry, 2 days ago's pre-burner test and the current state of Ship 26.
Maybe
Good deal.
it's one in static fire test then.
Yeah, maybe it's a one-engine pre-burner or one-engine something would make sense. That'd be really cool. I'm all for incremental engine testing here in Starbase because that means we get more engine testing. I love it. Ooh, somebody got the Ring of Fire print that Sean made. That is an excellent print, and I'm sure he will appreciate the support there. Since whenever you get a metal print, some of the money. Oh, that's
Here we go.
Wait, that's a replay. That's a replay. I'm a big dumb idiot.
Boy,
Kevin.
I got
You nearly gave me a heart attack, buddy. I'm sitting here waiting to trigger a camera that I have set up to shoot slow-mo, and I need to be like on the ball with it, otherwise it'll overheat.
Here.
I got bam. Oh my god. Kevin, we're enemies now.
People are laughing at us right now.
We're officially enemies now. I should have noticed that it said replay. I was too busy looking at Sean's sweet print. Hey, look, somebody got a calendar. Cool. Well, like I said, we're getting really close, or we could be. Kevin, if you don't mind, can you tilt CP11 down just a little bit so we can see the base of the pad? I know we're looking at the frost here, but I personally need to see that deluge or the water hoses start up so that I can fire this slow-mo rig. Alex, speaking of that, the water hoses that I'm very charitably calling the deluge, what if this is close to test time, what would we expect to see next?
Well, I'm not sure because the engine chill pipes, they usually keep going and going and going with the venting, and we used to have some kind of neat thing with those vents where on previous tests, at least for Ship 25 or even Ship 24, going all the way back to that. We used to see like some kind of pulsing. They were coming back and forth, even way back to SN8, SN9. We also had that kind of pulsing closer to T0, going back and forth. This time it's a little bit complicated. Again, these vehicles have evolved. We have had new different versions of both vehicles and the Raptors, and so who knows. The sure thing will be if they do any sort of static fire test, then we will see some kind of hose shooting a bit of water underneath of the vehicle.
Right,
it's not a water deluge system, though.
I'm just gonna say, if you see that, please immediately interrupt whatever's going on at that time. If that water starts up, for the love of God, say something so that I can fire the slow-mo camera. Yes, please, thank you.
Like this water, right?
maybe like a little bit more urgent. Like you sounded like you were enjoying it. Maybe like a little bit more like urgency.
I'm enjoying trolling you. Anyway,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thank you. Joaquin, thank you for the support. They say when Jack Bacon air fryer stream. I might be able to arrange that for members. Sean plays too much. Thank you for the support. Gifting a red team membership. Jeff Rowe, gifting a red team membership. Sean plays too much again.
Oh,
So
you
this
remember
is the
yesterday?
same vent that we saw 2 days ago, where we don't think that this is not thought to be an abort vent. This was similar timing that we saw at Crack Alex.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, I was thinking the same because we saw that long vent, and then we had the test.
So if I remember correctly from the other day, this means we're about 5 minutes out.
Yeah, or even less than that. Yeah, it could be definitely less than 10 minutes.
Fingers crossed.
It seemed to be just a few minutes. It does seem like the whole tank is getting more and more colder because you can see some of that little condensation turning into frost up on the tank. That is what is called adiabatic expansion, where you release a high pressure gas in a container, right? And the container just basically drops in temperature. Also, we can see the methane tank venting a little bit here and there. I can see it on the right hand side there. So definitely venting all across. I'm wondering if what they're doing is they're gonna do the test with the engine, but the propellants are like very, very cold. You know what I mean? Because they're depressing and that reduces the temperature inside of the tank. Maybe that's what we're seeing here, that kind of testing. Because we were thinking the other day some kind of other type of testing, but I'm thinking it might be related with that, with the temperature of the propellant.
Could be.
Yeah,
that's
but also.
Go ahead.
And yeah, the header tank is also frosty, just like we saw the other day, so...
Yeah, this definitely seems to be part of the new countdown, and like Alex was saying, it is very possible that this is a new version of Raptor, or they're testing something slightly different on Raptor, which could have increased thrust, which could take advantage of lower propellant temperature. That's all conjecture on our part, but definitely possible.
I'm also thinking that, because for Flight 2, they may
Oh,
not
we've got
have
an ice
it,
ring
but...
on the header tank. Sorry, go ahead.
The what?
We've got an ice ring on the header tank.
Yeah, I mentioned that,
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm
we can see-
freaking out. I gotta roll this camera, otherwise I have to get this shot. I have to. Go ahead.
How long can it roll for? This...
7 minutes.
Oh, boy.
And
I was going to say, maybe do it now.
It might overheat before then. It's actually overheating right now, but it hasn't stopped recording yet, or it hasn't stopped working yet, but it's a whole thing. Anyways, I'm afraid to do questions. I'm afraid to even look away. If either of you wants to pick something out of the queue, go for it. I am staring maniacally at the bottom of the pad here, waiting for that water to start up.
The thinking that I had was that we're not going to see this for Flight 2, but perhaps Flight 3 and following that, we're going to see colder temperatures on the propellants because they're going to be loaded faster.
Right.
This might be the reason why they're doing this. I don't know. I'm not really sure though, but
Right.
it's just a wild guess. Because if you drop the pressure and suddenly your tank becomes, more colder, your propellant also becomes more colder, and that affects the engine performance. Now, in which way? I don't know. Maybe they're testing a nominal situation. Maybe they're testing what I just said. That the future vehicles will be loaded with, they're gonna have faster propellant loads. So perhaps the propellant is also gonna be colder. So that's maybe what they're testing. I don't know. Like just a wild guess here to put a few theories out there, and whatever people might think about that, it's good. There's not really anything else.
I must say, when they do this vent, it really highlights, in my opinion, how smart using the ullage gas as attitude control thrusters is on ship and booster. Because this is so much gas that would just be wasted. So why not use it?
It's yet another one of those ideas from SpaceX where the first time you hear it, you're like, what? No, that won't work. And then they do it, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, duh. That was the obvious solution that did not seem obvious at the time. So, pretty nifty. Oh, man.
Now that vent has stopped, we are probably very close to static fire.
Because I remember last time it stopped, and then it happened again, and then when it stopped the second time, then the test happened.
Yep, there started back up.
Coming back.
Good deal.
So Jack, be ready to hit that button.
I actually just hit it. I'm scared. Please don't overheat, camera. Please, little camera, hold strong. Yeah, we could be moments away from a static fire test or a pre-burner test or something with Ship 26. So hang tight, everybody, as we hope to see something happen here. This is basically the same flow that we saw with the pre-burner test the other day. So thankfully we sort of know what we're looking at now, and we're not calling it a depress when it's not a depress. But yeah, let's see here. Oh, there we go. There you go. That looked like a single engine, right?
Yeah, that was a long firing.
That
was nice.
Was awesome. I got the shot, by the way. I got the shot!
Let's go.
Jack Madness.
I'm just all professionalism out the window right now. I'm sorry, but I am extremely, extremely happy that this setup worked. It's a non-trivial thing to accomplish here. Oh my god, I cannot wait to look at this footage. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so do we think that that was the same exact engine as we saw conduct the pre-burner test?
Probably. That's my...
Oh, look, the same location.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That was awesome. Yeah, so a pre-burner test with that engine 2 days ago and an engine test with that engine today. So excellent stuff. Seeing Ship 26 progress through the paces, I do wonder now, I mean, this immediately makes me wonder, will we see more engine testing with 26? Will we see, you know, an incremental increase in engines the way we've seen them do previously? Will there be a 2 engine, and then a 3 engine, and then a 6 engine? I'm very excited to get more engine testing with Ship 26, and also to test this slow-mo rig more before the flight of IFT-2, just so we get some more heritage on it. Always good to test more. Holy cow, you guys. That was awesome. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, because I have thoughts, and my thoughts are that if anything, this test might support the idea, my idea at least, that this vehicle might not fly. And if you remember, Ship 2025, when it was tested, it did spin prime test, and then a 6-engine static fire test, and then it went straight to, you know, stacked operations, basically.
Right.
So, whereas this one has done a pre-burner test, which hasn't happened in 2 years, right? That's already like something new, something that we've not seen in a while. And then also, these static fire tests seem to be of 1 engine. Definitely not all 6 engines. I didn't see enough, you know, bursts of jets coming out of the engine section to say that it was all engines. So I will say that this might support the idea that this is just a ground test article where they're testing all of this neat, nice stuff for when they do go over to Ship 28. That's my theory, and I'm happy that at least these kind of things might be supporting that. I don't know. Maybe there are some other theories out there. I will see.
Oh man, talk about an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Trevor, ask Alex some questions. I need to like take a deep breath.
Sure. I'll just say right now I'm going frame by frame through our footage, and I only see, like Alex was saying, startup of 1 engine. It doesn't look like there was anything outside of that. So I think we can pretty confidently say that it was a single engine unless one started up way later. And it seems that the duration was approximately 7 seconds. But we'll of course have a better number for you once we get our edited footage from all of that complete.
Right. I'm so happy. I'm about to take a look at what this footage looks like.
The footage just that we streamed is awesome. Like, such clear mock diamond at the start.
Oh my god. So this camera that I'm looking at right now that you all can't see is the same view as that close-in camera. Let me go back over here. It's the same view as this, just even more zoomed in. So fingers crossed, we have some cool stuff to look at here in a minute. But please, both of you talk to each other so I can freak out over here.
Yeah, people in chat are saying no more booing of Ship 26 after that.
No more booing. No more booing.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree.
Yeah,
Jack?
my thinking, because we're sort of asking, like, what kind of ground testing could it be, right? And my thinking is that, you know, Ship 26 incorporates a bunch of upgrades, structural upgrades, and kind of other sorts of little things here and there that are compatible with Ship 28. And so this could be what they're testing, but also the engines themselves, as we're seeing here right now. The engine test campaign here, it's way different with what you will expect from a vehicle that will go straight into, you know, stacked operations like 25. And so it could be that they're also testing something new on the engines, because these engines are electrical gimbal, right? And it is true that they don't really need them to fire to test the electrical gimbal system. But either way, there might be something else, right? Apart from the electrical TVC. We know from SpaceX that when they change something, it's not just that they change, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is some kind of interim version of Raptor 2 or something. I don't know. Like just wild guessing here, because we know that a Raptor 3 is coming up, right? And
Well,
we're
think
used to
that's
seeing
another-
SpaceX.
I think the important
Yeah.
thing that we should probably add to that is, right, Elon tweeted that they had the first firing of Raptor 3, but we're not 100% sure what he actually means, because there seems to have been several different nomenclatures for Raptor naming that have been kind of convoluted at this point. So we definitely think, as Alex was saying, at this point, there's very good evidence to suggest that this is a upgraded version of Raptor, but definitely not like a full upgrade to Raptor block or Raptor 3. So the question is it some sub block of Raptor 2, or what is it? And that we are not sure of, and we're not even sure of if the Raptor 3 that Elon has tweeted about is actually Raptor 3, or if it's what he used to call Raptor 2.5. So there are lots of questions with what he meant by that.
And actually, I was actually thinking precisely about Raptor 1 when they went with the normal Raptor 1, and then for SN15 flew with a different variant of Raptor 1, which we sort of called it Raptor 1.5, which was a little bit more streamlined. It didn't have as much bits dangling and things like that. It still had a lot of, wires and pipes and everything compared to Raptor 2, but it was much more simpler than the original Raptor 1. And it worked. Like, I mean, SM-15 was the first one to launch and land. So, yeah, it might be that, we know SpaceX, because Elon, as you mentioned, we don't really know if it's like an actual V3 or not, but definitely there must be some kind of Raptor 3 down the line, right? And if they're going to have some kind of Raptor 3, exactly, right? We've heard, those things about the Elite engine and things like that. So there's obviously more things down the line. And to get there, we know SpaceX doesn't do they do huge changes, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that they do some incremental changes, where they do like some kind of 2.1, 2.5 kind of upgrade, right? And so this might be perhaps just a wild guess, because again, they changed to electrical TVC.
Right.
Why couldn't it be that they have also changed other things, right? Maybe they have simplified a few things, reduced some flanges. I don't know, like just wild guessing here. And so in that case, it is very valuable to test the engines multiple times and do different kinds of tests, like resuming pre-burner testing. I mean, if that's I have that as a really big sort of deal, because we haven't seen that in 2 years.
Yeah, while we are getting replays of all of this for you guys, I just went back and I took a screenshot from our live views. So Kevin, could you pull up the image? Yeah, so here on the left, you can very clearly see the single engine and the mock diamond formed by it. So I think it's pretty awesome that we're able to get this good of a view live. And then, as Jack was alluding to earlier, we have even better angles in slow motion coming.
Yeah, because that's a screenshot of the feed that we're getting, right? We still have to pull the raw feed, and then we have the camera shots from Jack. But you can see here it's pretty much a one engine. You can see the Mach Diamond even.
Yeah. So Alex, question for you. Right, it's been about 10 minutes since the static fire, and we haven't seen a depress vent yet. Could there be any additional testing today, do you think?
It will be ironic if actually detanking and everything were to be when there's no depress vent. Because we've seen depress vent and then an engine test happens, and now it's like maybe it's the upside world, right? Where we have a depress for a test, and then afterwards we don't have any depress vent. I don't know. But But yeah, one definite thing will be that, oh boy, well, now we have an actual clue. That vent stack, you can see right next to those, there's like 3 vertical black tanks. Right to the right of that, you can see like some kind of pipe sticking out.
Yeah, that's
and
venting a lot
out of
right
it.
now.
Exactly, that is the former flare stack, which was converted into just a vent stack. It vents nitrogen out of that, and that is related with the detanking of methane, and obviously we're thinking that liquid oxygen is probably being detanked as well. So, yeah, that looks like a detank. Now, that doesn't mean they won't test again. They may test again, but we don't know, right? Because they have until, what, 8 p.m. today? So, or was it today there was like 8:30 p.m. or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure. This is some proper tank watching, though, at this point, when, as Jack would always say, the confuse the media button. We don't know what's going on.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello, Jack.
Hi.
This file is halfway done coming off of the camera. I'm so
Hi,
excited
Matt.
to see what this slow-mo footage looks like. I can't even. But really, as I try to process what it is we just saw, and hopefully what it is that I just captured, we can take a look at the road closures here and see that we have a closure coming up on Sunday. That's Sunday, right? The 23rd? How do days work? No, that would be the 22nd.
Yeah, I think that's Monday. But there
So
is a road closure on Sunday.
It's just not showing up on the page yet.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think so.
Cool. And I do want to thank everybody for the support, because I wouldn't be able to do wacky things like what I just did without y'all's support. So, Carrie B, thank you so much. Please ask Jack if he still has the kayak. A friend of mine still has the kayak. It does exist. I can confirm. Josh, thank you for the support. They say, if the bacon was frozen by cryogenic vapors venting at the pad, would the duration of the test be enough to cook it properly? Who knows? We should really do some tests on this, just so we finally have a definitive answer, since people ask it so much. Let's see here. Here's a good one. Good Gremlin Media is asking, how do they test the RVAC engines on the stand without ripping them to shreds due to flow separation? That wasn't an RVAC engine that was tested, but they can test RVAC engines in the same manner. Who wants to jump on this one? Trevor?
Sure. So first of all, for those who may not know what flow separation is, and what this phenomena is that, right, the whole point of the vacuum optimized engine is so that it's a little bit wider, so that you, in a vacuum, you're directing more of your exhaust to be parallel to the direction of motion to try to reduce the cosine losses on the sides. However, obviously when you bring that down to the atmosphere, or to sea level, there's more pressure, so the flame is actually pushed in a little bit and it detaches from the side of the engine bell. And what this can do is create rather large oscillations in pressure, which then can, if you reach the right frequencies, can end up destroying the entire engine bell. And this is something that a lot of the engines, especially like the RS-25, they had to design around to make sure that the engines wouldn't be destroyed when they were testing them and launching them at sea level. So the way that SpaceX gets around this for when they're firing RVACs is they have a bit of a ring stiffener that they put around the engine that kind of helps reduce the vibrations.
Right.
And then additionally, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but the current RVACs are actually a little bit shorter than they'll end up being long term, to make it so that they can test them on the ground. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, but there's also things that they can do to test it on the ground, and actually the stand is equipped with the hardware for that. Basically, you can see this on a picture that Elon shared a long time ago, where they have like, basically you can see that there's like straps around the bell of the engine. So what those do is they keep the engine bell in shape and in the correct location when they fire. Now, those get removed when the ship is then moved onto the booster, on top of the booster. 'Cause then when they go up there near vacuum, as I was saying, when they go up there and the exhaust expands, then they don't have that flow separation issue, and so the engines can just fire freely as they were designed for. But it is true that for ground testing, both at McGregor and also here at the test stand, at the Suborbital test stand, they do have some kind of rig that keeps them in place to be able to test them once they are on the ground.
Good deal. Yeah, I love that you mentioned the stiffener ring, specifically because whenever we see a Falcon 9 second stage in flight, those first few seconds of its flight, that stiffener ring that's on the Merlin vac nozzle flies off, and everyone's always like, what was that? Stiffener rings. Who knew? Kind of important for certain configurations of vacuum engines.
Yeah, the ones on the ground that Alex and I are talking about for Starship are far more robust.
I knew
the
you were
one
going
on
to say
Falcon
robust.
9, you know me too well, Jack.
It's
The
true.
one on Falcon 9 is primarily to just reduce vibrations during launch, not as much for
It's
any of the
actually
flow
made of
separation
cork.
stuff. Yeah, that's another fun fact. And then a little section of it is just a little bit thinner, so that's why it always burns off, and it breaks off very controllably.
And I think Kevin actually has a picture of what I was talking about, if we can show it here. Yeah, there we go. That's the picture that Elon Musk shared. That was, I think, in June, July, or something. That is not Ship 25. That's the other way around. That's not Ship 26. That's Ship 25. And you can see on each Raptor vacuum engine, there's like this kind of ring, and there's like things that can clamp to the. So those little ring things that are around the engine, the vacuum engines, it is actually clamped to the test stand. So you can see there in pretty much what we're talking about here, of how they keep in place those engine bells so that the flow separation doesn't break them up. And yeah, that's the way that they test it on the ground. And as I said, once they are ready for stacking, they remove all of that hardware and they let those bells free, basically. And once they fire in space, they do their thing, and it's okay to do that because these are basically meant for that. And on the ground, as we were mentioning before, that flow separation kind of effect can damage the engine nozzles if not properly secured. In the case of MVAC, if you're wondering, they just don't put the engine nozzle extension. They just fire it without the nozzle.
Trevor, go ahead.
I was going to say, to bring up shuttle to make our bosses happy.
Ding!
If I remember correctly, on the edge of the RS-25, or on the very end, there's like a little bit of a lip, and that helps reduce flow separation on that engine. So there are definitely different ways you can go about handling this.
Good deal. All right, I think we have some replays coming up here. We're getting the replays in. I'm almost done getting my slow-mo video off the camera. So we'll see that here in a little bit too, hopefully.
In chat if you want to replay.
If you want to replay, say so, and we might give it to you. But really quickly, I do want to thank Muddy Creek Waters, thanking us for the stream, asking about capture nubs and if they're just recessed. Will there be a new design change to catch Starship? I mean, we're still in the prototyping phase, so you never know how all this is going to quite play out. Laserbeam, thank you for becoming a PadRat member. Gifting 10 Red Team memberships also. Thank you so much, Laserbeam. Once again, thank you so much to all of our members. Daniel Weaver becoming a Red Team member. Zathers becoming a Capcom member. Zathers, at Capcom level and above, you get Discord access. So pop into Discord and say hey. Ronnie Besser, thanks for the support as a Capcom member. They say, what the music? I think there was some music earlier while we were talking about merch. I kind of liked it. But wait, there's more. Matt Hicks, thank you for support. They say bring back the Trivent. Oh, the good old days of the Trivent. Brian, thanks for grabbing something from the store. They say Ship 26 boo, Stubby Nozzle boo, Kevin boo. Why Kevin boo? Don't boo Kevin. Kevin good. Anonymous, asking when OFT2 with a store purchase. I think sometime in November, hopefully. Thanks for grabbing some merch. We love the support, and we appreciate the support. Richard, saying let's light this candle, also getting something from the store. They did. They lit it. We're a little bit behind on these messages. I'm just trying to get through them here. Anonymous, also grabbing something from the store, thanking us for what we do. Lars, Also, and Ben Balat. Also grabbing some stuff from the store. Probably all calendars. Yep, that's a calendar. Nice. Paul, thank you for the support. They're thanking us for the amazing job we do. That's so sweet of you to say. We're just trying to share the love and share the excitement at the fact that we live in these amazing times. You know, there can be some gloom and doom in the world, but hey, there can also be some awesome and I don't know what the opposite of gloom and doom is. We're gonna have to come up with a rhyming something. All right, replays? Let's do a replay. Kevin, do we have a replay? Play 212. I just said that's a Daily Show joke. There's not actually anything named 212. Here we go. Let's watch this static fire. I hope there's mock diamonds. Trevor, you said there was mock diamonds? I was panicking so hard I don't even remember what I saw.
Yeah, there are.
Oh my god, okay. Yes. That looked awesome. So this is a replay from our deployable camera that Andrew slaved over until like 4 a.m. this morning. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
For real, like what a shot. The fact that we can have that live is amazing. So seriously awesome. And yeah, we have some other replays coming up, and also my slow-mo camera, which I'm still working on over here. Turns out 4K 120 frame a second footage. Go burr. To use a technical term. Look at the ice fall off. Oh man, that's beautiful.
You go celebrate that mock diamond with the mock diamond t-shirt on our store.
Wow, that's like almost a Sawyer level segue, man. That's amazing. Good job. Whew, look at that. I love engine testing. Is there any better kind of testing than engine testing? I guess flight testing. I just answered my own question. Yeah, dang it. So yeah, you can see the replay there on the left, and you can see the live view there on the right. Has the vent stack or anything started up? Are we...
Yeah, Alex and I were talking about that earlier. Their vent stack is venting, so probably offloading propellants now. And it looks like the frost line has also gone down a bit. It's kind of hard to tell.
Cool. Trevor, I need to do a thing. Just, you're in the driver's seat.
All right. I'm going to go through some more support. Leo with the store message, feels like I've been waiting for this for ages, have loved this year's calendars. Well, thank you for getting it, and yeah, hope you enjoy it. Ronald with the 2-month Red Team membership, this thing better static fire today. Well, good thing it did, and then they also say, Jack, you better make some bacon today, so I'll let Jack know. Marshall, I've been a $10 monthly member for almost the start of your channel. Thank you for documenting history and feel like I know the staff. Fantastic work. Greatly appreciate all your hard work. Sincerely, Marshall, the retired satellite telecommunication guy. It's so awesome when we have people in the industry who watch us and enjoy us. So thank you, Marshall. We really appreciate it.
I do so love that. And just I know I said I had to do a thing, but because you said that, I really just have to emphasize, because I like to do this whenever it comes up. Part of what we're celebrating is the future finally arriving, right? Where humanity goes interplanetary, or at least it just has easier access to space. But the other thing that we're celebrating is the hard work of everybody that makes stuff like this happen. It does not happen without a huge, intensely dedicated, super hardworking team of many, 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 many people. And not even people necessarily at SpaceX. You know, sometimes it's people, you know, at other organizations, or, you know, people that support the range or whatever it is. If you have a hand in anything related to spaceflight, good on you, because it's not always the easiest job. And we appreciate it's none of this would exist without the hard work of hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people. So absolutely just awesome. Anyways, continue, Trevor.
All right, Catherine got both calendars. Love your calendars every year. Greetings from Germany. And then it looks like she's going to the Space Creator Day tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a blast there. It looks like it's a ton of fun. And enjoy your calendar. Sarah says, glad to have you back, Jack. Bacon, bacon, bacon. I don't like bacon, so I'll annoy everyone by saying that. But so
I'm
my
annoyed now.
dislike for it counteracts Jack's love for it. Carl says, guys, you guys are very appreciated for all the coverage and commentary y'all provide from Arizona. Thank you very much for your support, Carl, and hope you enjoy your calendar. It looks like you got. Oliver says, thanks for the coverage, good static fire. We certainly hope so. It's kind of a bummer that these days Elon has been distracted by his other companies and hasn't been tweeting as much about these Starship milestones, but hopefully we somehow get confirmation of a good static fire and enjoy your calendar.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Speaking of, oh my god, Bideford with a $50 super chat saying this was awesome. Thanks to Jack, Alex, Trevor, and Kevin for an exciting static fire. Need more now from B9 and S25. Well, thank you, Bideford, very much for your support. And as we always say, it's you guys that allows us to do this and bring you these awesome views. And it sounds like very cool slow-mo if Jack's oh my god is to be believed. So,
Words.
Bideford, one of our regulars, thank you very much. Rebecca says, Merry Christmas. I assume buying a calendar. Looks like... Oh no, the fiery sunrise metal print. Yeah, that's an awesome shot. Hope you enjoy that. Christian with the store order with... sorry, it's taking a moment to pop up. It looks like both calendars. Thanks for the great merch. Yes, thank you, our merch team. Our merch team is phenomenal, and I certainly couldn't do it. So thank Adrian, Pauline, all of those people.
Right.
Bob with a super chat. The opposite of doom and gloom is rocket sauce. Is that a reference I'm not getting?
I don't get the reference if it is, but I'm also freaking out about this footage.
Anyway, thank you very much, Bob. Zachary, my grandfather was an engineer in Boeing and worked on every engine up until the retirement of the shuttle. Recipient of the Silver Snoopy. Really cool seeing the development of this next gen. Thanks. That is awesome. It's always, like we were talking about a moment ago, seeing people who worked on this and new people who worked on whether it was Saturn V or shuttle or whatever and still being interested today. I don't know. It tickles the right bones or whatever the expression is.
That's
So-
no one has ever said that before.
What? It tickles the right something. I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway, thank you very much, Zachary. I'm not very good with my idiot.
I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy. You're good.
What are they called? The like common phrases.
Idioms.
Idioms. Yeah. Another super chat from We Will Rocket You. Stop booing Ship 26. We all heart ships. Ship 26 has a place in all things progress. Yeah, I think Jack has realized that maybe he was too early to judge the ship. Jack, is that a fair assessment?
100%. I love Ship 26. Ship 26, best ship.
Best ship now. Wow, how things have changed. And then Andrew with a store message saying, Yay, Ship 26. Blarg and larger coffee mugs. Loved the shot. Looks like he got the metal print of Tesla's Cybertruck. Yeah, that... I still cannot believe Sean got that.
It's such an amazing image. It really
Yeah.
is. And I have to mention that when you get a metal print, some of the portion of the sale goes to the photographer that shot the print. And I know darn well that Sean appreciates every single one of those sold. So not only is it an amazing image, and not only is it cool to see one's work, displayed on somebody's wall. In fact, if you're a member, please post that in the member Discord. But it's just absolutely humbling and awesome, and it helps. It really does. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. I'm not a photographer at all. I think if I was a photographer for NSF, no one would watch us because it would be such bad content. But it is truly remarkable to me, some of these shots that our photographers are able to get, whether it's this shot or some of the shots from Julia and Max at the Cape, Jack on the West Coast, and everywhere in between. Y'all are awesome.
You're sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, Jack hates when you call him a good photographer, so everyone just
I'm
praise
really
his
not.
photos.
I'm really not. I'm a guy with a beard and a camera, but thank you. You're sweet.
All right. Looking for some questions while we wait. I see a bunch of Taylor references in chat, which I'm noticing and appreciating. Alex, here's a question from a long time ago when we were talking about the uh, motors on Jupiter 3C or whatever's upper stage. And they were asked, oh, apparently we have replays ready? Not the... Not
I'm working on it, but we have all the other ones.
Yeah, we don't have Jack's slow-mo footage yet, but we have other replays. Let's show them.
Oh, I'm excited to see these.
Alex, do you know which site this replay is from? Or which camera? Okay, I'm not sure if Alex is there.
Hang on, let me look. That
Beach.
would be Beach.
Boy, so yeah, there's the replay from Beach.
Looking good. Look at that giant cloud of... I mean, a lot of times people will see a pre-burner test and say, oh, was that a static fire? Nope. And you can really tell if you watched the pre-burner stream 2 days ago compared to this, you can see the amount of thrust that's developed by the engine for a static fire by that massive cloud of dust that is created. Versus with the pre-burner, you just kind of get a spicy sneeze.
Yeah, ate too much spicy food last night. And there's our wide-angle shot, which I love this view with the full stack on the left and then Ship 26 on the right. It also shows how small the suborbital tank farm looks compared to the orbital. And all of that dust, as Jack was alluding to.
Sorry, I'm doing like 3 things at once over here.
Oh, you're good. Here's another shot, similar to the one we showed live.
Yep, that'll be south.
So we don't have the sound, right?
I think these are just visual replays. We did have mics deployed, and that'll be probably either in a rapid turnaround video that we put out here in a moment, or in tomorrow morning's daily, because there is a daily video coming out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think...
I was gonna make the sound of the engines with my mouth, but I think
Please
that's
don't.
not-
Yeah, please don't. We'll all agree.
Hard nope on that one. Sorry, buddy.
Here's another one of those shots with the whole stack that I just love. And then you can see on the right, by the way, on the live view, the liquid oxygen frost line has decreased significantly since the static fire. So that's a pretty good indication that, at least for now, they are over. They have a lot more time left in the window, about 4 hours and 20 minutes, because of course it has to be that. We're not expecting any more testing at this point, but it is SpaceX and they could do something else.
I have a question though.
What is your question?
Oh, another replay.
Yeah, we're just cycling through all of our replays.
Even from this one with the overall tank farm, for a bit of context. And there go the birds.
And just
They're
the
like, oh my
cloud
god,
of
what's
dust.
happening? Hey, if I cannot put a voice to the engines, I can put a voice to the birds, right? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Do you remember the really, really old dailies where I would put like text around the birds?
Yeah, I remember those.
Classic. What a beautiful test of that Raptor engine. The Mach Diamond, and then just coming out of the Raptor and then creating that massive cloud. Oh, that is super neat.
I love the Raptor. Its exhaust just looks so good.
Methalox, man, it is it's my favorite rocket fuel for sure. Just the blue shock diamond that you get, the clean flame, at least when the engine's not eating itself or destroying other engines or destroying an HPU.
I just wish there wasn't so much dust.
Right. Yeah. I know the feeling.
Methalox engine meets beach.
That's honestly what I'm hoping most for next on this next flight, is that we don't have so many engine failures, so that we can actually get the beautiful purple exhaust. Because on the first flight, with all of the failures, like Jack was just saying, it was kind of like dirty colored and didn't look the best in my opinion. But hopefully we'll get a nice clean plume.
Yeah, for IFT-1, I had a camera pointed up above the top of the tower at like 300 millimeters for the specific purpose of trying to capture mock diamonds without the dust cloud. And yeah, and
Starship had another idea.
yeah, Starship was like, hold on a minute, I'm gonna power slide a little bit, and it completely missed the framing of that camera. So lessons learned for next attempt, but yeah, the desire to capture Methalox mock diamonds is like, dude, I will drive 36 hours straight without sleeping, and have. Don't do that. It's not good. I will do ridiculous things if you tell me that I have a chance of capturing Methalox mock diamonds. So it's a really special engine, and it's a neat fuel, and it's just so neat to see.
You're willing to drive very far for a lot of things, and that's one of the many reasons why we love you, Jack.
Oh, well, thanks, because I love doing it. I really do. I don't know, maybe it's my dad taking me on road trips as a kid or what, but I just like the open road. I like driving across the country and seeing random roads. It's like, oh, what's up that dirt road? Cool. It's really fun. So thank you everyone for supporting NSF and by proxy me and helping us bring all this cool stuff to you. I can't wait till I can go out for another Virgin Galactic flight, but you know, Starship kind of in the way.
Yeah.
And you know, now that,
Look at that. Look at that engine start up. Sorry, Alex.
There we go.
That's such an awesome shot.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking because I was actually I was away for a few minutes reviewing this week's spaceflight episode. And we talk about the crew of the next galactic flight because they're launching with Dr. Alan Stern, which it's been sort of talked about for a long time that they will fly, you know, researchers and things like that. But finally, they're getting there.
I'll tease that we're probably going to have some pretty cool content on the site about that, because we're going to get some behind the scenes look at the training processes and whatnot. So keep your eye out for that as well.
I'm really excited for this NSF Live. It's going to be a real treat. I'm super excited. And you know what would be cool? We haven't talked about this at all, so this is just me spitballing on air. But it'd be cool if we can get Alan back on after he flies. Because we're talking to him before he flies, right? So if we get him back on after he flies and can kind of get an insight into the experience, we'll get both sides of the coin, right?
Yeah.
I'm still riding the adrenaline wave over here. I don't even know what to say or think. So thank you, Trevor, for holding things down.
Yeah, we have the support on this stream has been crazy. Lots of shop orders, which is always cool to see people enjoying the things that we work hard. So it looks like John got the OFT mission patch t-shirt and the patch and said, "Love you all, NSF is legendary." Well, thank you for the kind words, and hopefully you enjoy your shirt and it's relevant soon when this full stack flies. Dave Wolf with the $10 super chat saying nothing. Well, thank you very much, Dave, for tuning in and for your support. Jason with a bunch of items from the store. It looks like he got the test patch. Sorry, again, this is taking a moment to pop up all of what he got. Yeah, it looks like he got a bunch of the patches as well. Saying, thanks for all you guys do. If test 2 goes off clean, do you think we could see test 3 within 6 weeks? Alex, what are you thinking in terms of timeline between Flight 2 and Flight 3, assuming everything goes well?
I don't see it within 6 weeks. I think it's gonna be perhaps 2-3 months at least of turnaround time. I know they're targeting for way less though, but I'm gonna put an X to that on that.
Yeah, I think I'm probably on the 2 to 3 month boat as well. And then after that, we'll probably start seeing some fairly significant reductions in time, in my opinion. But we'll see.
All right, so I don't know. Maybe if we're getting people like just tuning in, and they're like in chat, like, did it go? Is it about to go? Well, you can see the replays there, but I don't know. Alex, Trevor, does one of you want to give us a sort of a dime store tour of what we saw today?
Yeah, why not? So as you can see right now, we have replays on the left and a live view on the right of your screen. And earlier, about, 40 minutes ago at this point, Ship 26 conducted a single-engine static fire test that seemed to be nominal and lasted for approximately 7 seconds. We are unsure what exactly they were testing, however, our best guess is that it was some new version of Raptor or some change on Raptor that they're wanting to test out. And that's why they did a pre-burner test ahead of today. They did that 2 days ago. And there you can see another replay. And then today they just did a single engine static fire. Since that happened on the order of 40 minutes ago, the vehicle has since been mostly detanked. As you can see on the right, all of the frost is gone on the vehicle. And we are currently just preparing some of our slow motion replays for you guys to see. Do you have anything to add to that, Alex?
Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we'll just keep taking some of your questions. But real quick, we have one more thing from Jim Cavett saying thanks y'all with the super chat. Well, thank you, Jim, for your support. We super duper appreciate it. It's awesome that we can get you guys these views. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we kind of talked about this a bit earlier, but maybe if people are just joining us, Alex, is it possible that they're using Ship 26 for testing new Raptor 3s on an actual ship as opposed to just the test stand at McGregor?
Oh, no. So, yeah, I can definitely say that these are not Raptor 3s for the simple reason that these engines were installed on Ship 26 way before they even tested the first Raptor 3 as announced by Elon, which we've talked about, maybe it's not actual V3, whatever. But regardless of that sort of question, these engines were installed way before that, like months before that. And when Elon talked about that, he talked about that test being the first test. So if that was the first test, and those engines, the engines that they install here on these vehicles, they are already tested before. Like they don't come here with untested engines, like out of the blue, being like, oh yeah, let's put an engine that we don't even know how it's gonna be working or anything. We're gonna put it on the vehicle, right? No, that's not really how it works. I mean, they could work it that way, but then you will have a lot more explosions here at Starbase, and so the proving ground is first for at least the engines. That is McGregor. They test them there. They prove that they don't go up in pieces and everything. And so once they qualify the engines, they go down here. They get installed on the vehicles, and then the vehicles are tested with the engines installed. So if we're seeing these engines being tested are because they were already tested at McGregor, and these were installed way before Elon said that they had the first test of Raptor 3. So by just that simple train of thought, you can think that this is definitely not Raptor 3 engines.
Yeah, and we saw between Raptor 1 and Raptor 2, if I remember correctly, the first Raptor 2 was tested like summer to fall of 2021 or somewhere in there. And then the first vehicle with Raptor 2 was Ship 24, correct? And Booster 7?
Ship 24 and Booster 7. Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
the first one with Raptor 2. And prior to that, we had Booster 4 with Ship 20. Those had Raptor 1.5s, just like SN15. So definitely, we could see something like that. Some kind of intermediate step between Raptor 2, pure 2, and pure 3, so to speak, like 3.0 and 2.0, right? And so maybe at 2.1, at 2.5, 2.7, I don't know, like whatever you want to call it, a 2.pi or whatever.
Yeah.
But definitely could be anything like that, because as I mentioned before, usually when they change these sort of engines, if they change one thing, it's probably not the only thing that they have changed. You could have you could bet probably some more things have changed. So if these engines are now electrical gimbaling, I wouldn't be surprised if they also have other things as well that are new.
Yeah, I mean, the way at SpaceX is to constantly be changing things, so I would not be surprised in the slightest if there are several more iterations of Raptors that they have lying around for future vehicles before even the big upgrade for Raptor 3 or whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Jack, are you around? Alright, Jack is not around because there's a question.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm freaking out, but I'm here.
Moldy has a question for you.
What's up, Moldy?
They're asking, how long will you keep the shaving with launch regimen up? Will you shave a dozen times a day for tanker missions?
I don't know. It was kind of a fun thing that I didn't shave until SN15 flew, and then after SN15 I didn't shave until IFT1 flew, and it's like it's not exponential or whatever, but there's a curve. There's a decreasing amount of time in between flights. So pretty soon, hopefully soon, it will get to the point where the flights happen more rapidly than I would normally shave if I was shaving on a normal rate, because I'm lazy, so I don't really shave that often. But I also wouldn't have such a massive beard if I wasn't doing like a don't shave until it flies kind of thing. So I don't know. That's a good question. Certainly,
even right now with Falcon 9, it will be crazy.
Right. I would have such razor burn. Certainly, it will get to the point where Starship flight rate outpaces my willingness and desire to shave. And I think when that happens, it'll be a really good day, or year, or whatever, because we want to see Starship fly often. We want to see it be rapidly reusable. We want to see humans on the moon and on Mars, and giant space telescopes, and whatever crazy other payloads, space stations that Starship can launch. So when they're launching a bunch of times in a month, or what have you, I am so excited for when we get there. And I'll deal with the shaving problems later. But love you, Moldy. Thank you now and forever for all of the support throughout the years. And just for being a good person. You're a good person, Moldy.
Yeah, they are. Steve Park, with a question from a long time ago, asking what the difference is between a motor and an engine. A motor is generally a solid propellant, when an engine is generally liquid. That's at least the differentiation that we were making earlier.
There's also the difference between solar rocket booster and solar rocket motor, where the booster is like different motors sort of piled up, just like the solar rocket boosters on the shuttle and the SLS, and whereas the motor is just one single piece. And that's another little thing that I don't know why it is that way, but somehow that is sort of because for example for Atlas it's just one single piece, and so they call it the solar rocket motor. But when you see the SLS and things like that, because it's different segments, they call it solar rocket boosters. And then each casing motor is like a motor case or things like that. Like each segment, it's called like that. I don't really comprehend that kind of jargon, and because it's way out of my league here.
Yeah. Daniel asking, when are we expecting the wet dress rehearsal? Right now, we have some indications that it could be happening on Sunday. In case you missed the start of the stream, the judge released a statement talking about how during Sunday's road closure, there is, quote, this Sunday closure is necessary based on unique circumstances involving testing of 2 separate Starships in preparations for upcoming launch approvals. So that statement is a little bit weird, and we're not 100% sure what exactly that means, but the current thought is that we could be seeing a wet dress on Sunday, or it could be some other testing that we haven't thought of yet. So hopefully SpaceX tweets or something ahead of that to give us some better indication of what's going on. So soon we have a full stack. That's how I'll answer it.
People in chat are saying, well, Robert Emmer in chat is saying the tripod at McGregor is firing right now. So SpaceX is firing on all cylinders. Haha. Get it?
I mean, all engines.
No, because the ship is a cylinder, and the test tanks,
Oh.
because they're cylinders. It's a really bad joke.
No, doesn't work.
Thanks.
All right, moving on from that.
There we go. That's test.
There it is.
McGregor.
That's live right now on our 24/7 live stream, McGregor Live.
There's
And shutdown.
And shutdown. That was fortuitous timing. Gotta love it. Always
Now,
some
folks
action.
in the background. I was gonna say, now our folks in the background are gonna be, this started at this time, and it stopped this time. This is the duration. This is whatever, right? And it is from this test stand, and they'll, we have our own log of tests and everything.
Yeah, we actually got a really interesting question on stream the other day asking whether there have been more Raptor firings this year or operational Merlin firings. And as part of that, I was one of our behind-the-scenes people, Nerd. He gave me a spreadsheet with all of the firings in McGregor for this year. And there have been nearly 800 separate Raptor firings in less than a year at McGregor. So they're kind of crazy out there. Matrix is asking, could cold weather in January or February prevent Starship from launching, assuming a third flight is ready by then?
I don't think that's really a concern.
Yeah, I mean, we did see some of the suborbital test flights happen during the colder months. I think SN9 happened in January or something like that. So, yeah, I would say probably not a big concern.
Yeah, in fact, most of them actually happened during the winter months, because it happened. SN8 happened actually in full because it was before December 21st. Then SN9 and SN10 and SN11 also happened. Well, SN11, I think it already happened when it was the spring, and then SN15 was during May. So, at least
looking back on it, it is kind of remarkable how quickly they flew SN9, SN10, SN11, and SN15. Like, their launch cadence was pretty good with those suborbital ships. And I'm still so mad at myself for not going down to Boca Chica to see one. But whatever. Such is life.
Yeah, and one of the things is that the question is prompted by, everyone has in mind things like the Challenger disaster, when we talk about cold temperatures and handling a rocket. But in that case, it was different. In that case, there was actually a reason why the cold temperatures were important, and that was the O-ring seal, which was sort of like a rubbery kind of material. And in cold temperatures, it basically stiffens, and so that was one of the concerns. Now, I do not think that's the kind of stuff that you put on the engine on a liquid fuel rocket, because it's not the same kind of conditions. In the case of the solar rocket boosters, they are basically at room temperature, at ambient temperature. Whatever temperature is outside is more or less the same on the inside. But you can also add heaters and things like that. Those kinds of things can be solved through those kinds of, if you have some component on your vehicle that doesn't doesn't like to be at those cold temperatures, then you can compensate by having some heaters or just putting some different design that is not constrained by that. And we've seen, for example, Falcon 9. Falcon 9 flies very perfectly, during the summer, during the winter, fall, spring. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. If it is very cold, if it's very hot, it launches and it does its job right as well. And that's another SpaceX rocket. So you can think that perhaps Starship is also designed with that mentality as well.
Yeah, it is impressive how Falcon 9 is launching in like all weather and just so reliably at this point. Yeah, if you see any good questions, Alex, please throw them in the queue, because there are only a few left. Any fish people in/around test area after the static fire? Curious if they're checking impacts of all of the tests/launches on the surroundings, Gary and Nebas, or concentrating solely on the OLM. I think it's pretty safe to say that they're, at least the fish and wildlife's primary concern is with the deluge system on the orbital launch pad and any runoff water from that. Is that correct, Alex?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have a huge misunderstanding of what is going on when they do these kind of tests. For example, today, these things have already been reviewed back in the day. Back, when they did the environmental assessment for suborbital launches way back. I think that was 2019, 2020. Then they did another one for orbital launches in 2022. That was approved, right? And so right now what they're doing is like, look, this kind of activity that you want to do for orbital launches, starting with Flight 2, does not enter that scope. And so it's not that they just want to review it just because. It's because if they don't review it, they're not following their job. Basically, they are mandated by law to do a thing, and if they don't do the thing, trademark, right? If they don't do the thing, then they can get in a big problem. Even if they didn't want to, do all of this stuff, all of this paperwork, they still, I mean, who wants to do paperwork, right? No one wants to do paperwork, but obviously you kind of need to follow what is already in the rules and regulations and things like that. I was talking before, the whole drama with the FAA and SpaceX and whatever. SpaceX going to the Senate and be like, hey, we want the FAA to be more faster and things like that, and the senators being like, yeah, we agree. Yeah, you agree, but you kind of need to put your piece of work into that, because that's actually something that you kind of handle, right? You basically direct the budgets and things like that. So, man, I don't know. Like, I'm going in a long rant here, but I think that they're just doing their job, and so I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is. I definitely can understand the frustration of this holdup for the launch. However, with any of these extraordinarily chaotic systems, it is very difficult to know what impacts a fairly small change could have, and then let alone if it is a fairly small change or not. So
yeah, and it might be that it's not a huge deal, but they still need to assess that it is not a huge deal, and then go and say, yeah, it's not a huge deal, you can do it without any sort of new thing or whatever. Like, it could be like that, right? And it's totally fair to just check it out and be, okay, whatever happens.
yeah. WX Dave with the super chat saying, thanks to all for the stream. Special thanks to Jack. His enthusiasm is infectious. I agree. Jack has a way with words that few other people have. Certainly very engaging. I wish I was half as engaging as he is. And then Alex Plants with 23-month PadVat membership, celebrating. So congrats on almost 2 years. That's kind of crazy.
I do wonder if there's because I feel like when I'm reading out the membership milestones, which is a new thing that we've added that we can do now, which is awesome. So thanks to the team that added that. When I'm reading those out, I feel like there's certain numbers that pop up a lot. Like, I feel like on this stream I read 39-month a lot of times. I don't know. I wonder if you could go back, like what test was 39 months ago that a bunch of people tuned into? I don't know, but it's nifty. It's nifty seeing all the membership milestones, and just I know you've heard me say it 10 million times, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Thank you to all of our members, especially our longtime members, and especially our launch directors and flight engineers, because the cool stuff that we get to do would not be able to do it without y'all.
Yeah. Here's a question. Could SpaceX install flaps onto Ship 26 if they wanted to? Would there be a point for a suborbital launch from Ship 26 from either Suborbital Pad A or B? No, they could not install flaps. That's way too late for that. And then, not really at this point. I think the data that SpaceX really wants is from the booster, and right now they're less worried about the upper stage. So I think for them, they just want to focus on getting through the first stage of flight, and then later they can start worrying about the second stage if they have any problems there. But the second stage is significantly more proven with all of the suborbital flights. Pro Tank Watcher is asking, any ideas what the two cables are that they have connected to just below the FTS? And I assume they're talking about on the full stack. You know, Alex?
I haven't really seen what they are mentioning, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I assume like right above the
Mostly
ship
because mostly because I haven't had a chance, not because I'm totally like tuned out or something. It's just that I have had so many things in my plate lately that I haven't had the chance to really look through in detail.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some work on both the ship and the booster after the recent destack. It seemed like they were doing some weld inspections on the booster, and on the ship, if you watch the most recent daily, there is some video that I was able to capture of them. It looked like they were pulling cables through a raceway or something near the top of the raceway. Who knows what that was? But yeah, I wish I had a better answer for Pro Tank Watcher, because they're clearly a Pro Tank Watcher, but unfortunately I don't. But they're very astute in noticing that work having been done. If you're not really paying close attention, it's probably not something you noticed, but that's why when we were talking about why did they destack and all of that, and we thought it was some sort of issue between the ship and the booster, or maybe with the ship QD, or maybe a combination of multiple things. Yeah, that's sort of what the tea leaves we were reading when we were discussing that. Go ahead, Trevor, sorry.
Nah, please interrupt more while we wait for your footage. Yeah, it is interesting.
10 minutes. It's 10 minutes away.
10 minutes, you heard it here first. It is interesting, though, how, we weren't entirely sure why they had stacked and then destacked after, a day or whatever. But it seems like it must have been something really minor. I don't know if it was something just not quite lining up, if they noticed some electrical issues or whatnot. I have no idea. And I doubt we'll ever find out. Dougal, one of our mods, with his 38-month Red Team membership, that's one of the numbers you were mentioning. Oh, Jack is gone. And he says, may have been SN3 crumbling or SN4 boom for the 38/39-month users. It's kind of crazy if that was over 3 years ago. I wouldn't have expected that, to be honest. But Dougal, thank you for your continued support and for helping us out on the back side with all of the moderating and all that. So Alex, what is the venting that we see?
Well, so far it is the grass vent there on the left, as you can see. I think that's mostly what we're hearing here. The totally unimportant grass vent. But it's loud. That grass vent sometimes is loud.
Yeah, I know. I think it was during the suborbital hops when Adrian was making a spreadsheet over all of this. He was trying to figure out if the grass vent had any indication for time until flight or testing or whatnot. And he came to the conclusion that it's very much random. So I think a bunch of us in the back channel joked around with him and would ping him like, Adrian, grass vent has started, thinking it was something important when it was absolutely nothing important. Steven with a 24-month Capcom membership saying 2 years and counting. Well, Steven, hope to see you in another 2 years, and thank you for your support. And Colin with his 8-month Red Team membership. All of mine were gifted by other people. Greatly appreciated. Go SpaceX, go NSF. And I think that is a great reminder of how awesome the gifting program is, that you can let other people experience the cool perks that we have. So thank you to everyone who gifts those. All right. Alan is asking, assuming continued successes, when do you think we will see crewed or tanker launches start?
Well, I think tanker launches are going to happen way earlier than crew launches. But tanker launches, I think, as soon as maybe late next year, could be a possibility. Because they're going to have to test the tanker version of a Starship soon. And unlike what most people think here, Ship 26 is not a test of that, precisely because it lacks flaps and heat shield. The actual closer... So, of all the vehicles that you can see right now on your screen, the one that is actually closer to a tanker version is the one on the left on top of Booster 9, which is Ship 25. The reason why I say that is because people have these sort of... I don't know, like, I've seen a lot of comments, because obviously I read comments. Hi, chat, by the way. and so, you know, I see a lot of people confused, thinking that the ones without flaps and heat shield are the ones that are going to be tanker versions, but it's actually totally the opposite. The ones with flaps and heat shield are going to be the tanker ones, because those need to come back from orbit, land, be refueled, launch, and then refuel again in orbit, because they are tankers. They need to come back and forth, right? So they need to go up, come back, refuel, relaunch, you know, and all of that. Like, they need to do all of that stuff, and they need to be like fully and rapidly reusable. Like, they need to fly a lot of times, because we're talking dozens of you know, tankers going up and back and forth when they're launching, you know, thousands of ships to Mars and whatever, like in the future, in the far future. But if you think about it, they need to reuse those. If you just launch one of these expendable, man, you're just gonna have a lot of wasted material, a lot of wasted money there. So I think the tanker launches are gonna be very, very soon, in the next year or so, like next year, late 2024 basically. Mostly because they need those in order to be able to test for HLS, for the Human Landing System, for NASA Artemis program, and then they can worry about the crewed version of a Starship, because that's going to be a later milestone for them.
Yeah, I think the only two versions of ships that we expect to not have heat shield type, or I guess three, would be HLS, the tanker depot itself that will stay on orbit, and expendable ships.
Yeah, and that's probably what people are thinking. They're probably thinking about the one that stays. That's a depot. That's not a tanker. It's a depot that has tanks, but it's not a tanker. The tanker, it's the one that fills the tanks rather than being filled by the tanks. Oh my gosh. It's a mouthful, but you can get the point, right? That the tanker is the one that goes up and back. And so that's the one that actually we'll see probably. You know how there's this kind of meme going around of it's another Starlink, right? And it's like a bunch of roaches dancing in a tunnel or something like that, and some funky music. Well, when you know, in about 5-6 years or thereabouts, we're gonna be the same with tanker launches.
1 minute.
It's another tanker launch. Oh, there we go. 1 minute. But yeah, it's gonna be like that. Most of the launches are gonna be tanker versions in Starlinks. Like, it's gonna be Starlinks in tankers.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that I wasn't muted. Yeah, 1 minute until my slow-mo thing is there. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, you heard it here
Yeah.
first. It's been a long time coming, but it's you and Jack slow-mo footage.
Good deal.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the sort of refueling stations, when they have all of these sort of depot in space and things like that, when they have all of that, I can see them launching those with things like, spray on foam or something like that, where that foam protects the tanks from boil off, or even like shades and solar panels, you name it, right? You can go beyond what we're seeing here rather than just a naked ship like we're seeing right now with Ship 26.
Yeah, real quick before we get to Jack's footage, which he's been teasing us with for a while. Oop, it looks like Speaking of Starlink, SpaceX just tweeted about yet another Starlink mission.
Yet another Starlink.
Yeah, CF with his 11-month Red Team membership milestone saying, "Love this community. This is a great place for optimism, which is hard to find in this wacky world we live in, thanks to NSF and its members." That is a great point. It is kind of a breath of fresh air sometime to go in there and just be able to talk with passionate people and not have it get political. An alien activity says, "Think I started tuning in to NSF during SN4 testing, and they've been a Pad Red member for 3 years." That's kind of crazy.
All right. I think the slow-mo replay is ready.
Ooh.
I haven't watched it yet. I've only skipped through it. So you're gonna get a live reaction here from me. I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, it's done downloading and doing all the things. So now our team, Kevin in the background, I can't even talk. Our team Kevin. What does that even mean? Yeah, just here we go. We're gonna take a look at some. It was shot 4K, 120 frames a second on a Canon R5 with a 500mm lens, and I compressed it down to 1080 just to get it uploaded and downloaded and all of that faster. You saw how long that took. It's however long it's been over an hour since static fire. So, yeah, I had to compress it down. The raw still exists. You'll be able to see that too in all its glory. But we have this version of it about ready to go. So just give us a few seconds here to get it all queued up in the system, and we will be able to look at this. Again, I have not looked at it yet. I only know that it worked, and I only looked at a couple different frames to ensure that I could be excited. So I do not know what we're about to watch, but I'm excited to see it after an hour of waiting. And I hope you are
shout out
too.
this comment real quick from Ryan saying, "Gotta love daylight testing, and I've had the time of my life fighting dragons with you." It is nice that we actually have spaceflight activities happening during the day, unlike Starlink. It is so nice.
Right. It really is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. You ready, Kevin? Let's do this. All right, y'all. Oh my god. Please be good. Yes! Oh, that's satisfying. That is pretty satisfying. Hooray! It worked. I hope you're all as proud of that as I am. I know that's the same view that we saw on the deployable camera, but it's much higher bitrate, much higher resolution, and of course it's 120 frames a second, as you can see by the amount of time it takes the dust to clear. The reason I left it this long is because there is still some fire coming out of the Raptor engine by the time the dust fully clears. So it's about a minute-long clip, which would translate to about 15 seconds of 4K 120. So let's...
Jack, you are the mastermind.
I have been dreaming of trying to pull this off for so long, and finally I just started buying pieces of the puzzle and putting them together. Look at the fire! Look at the fire! Oh, that's satisfying. And yeah, it's been a wild ride, but it's definitely been awesome having Sean's help and having Doss and everyone else's help. And again, the reason I'm thanking Andrew so much for setting up CP11 is because setting up the deployable camera, is because this camera does not work without that camera. They're friends. So hooray! Kevin, can we watch it again?
Please.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Mock Diamond! Oh, that makes me pleased. That makes me very pleased. Now, if only this camera could do like 400 frames a second instead of just 120, but, you know. Oh my goodness. Once again, thank you to all of our members for the support. Could not do this stuff without y'all. Always trying to up our game and do more cool stuff. So, holy cow. Kevin, can we see it one more time? Can we see it one more time? Yes! Full screen, baby. This is a replay. Look at that! Oh, that's satisfying. Well, there you have it. Ship 26, single engine static fire. One for the books.
I would still
my
love to know exactly what they're testing, but
yeah, me
I
too.
don't think we'll find out.
You never know. SpaceX might do a tweet and say, successful hubbity blub of the Marsal veins on the, I don't know. But barring any sort of official information from SpaceX, we're left to speculate. But you know what? Speculation is kind of fun too.
It is.
Okay, wait, there's fire. Don't forget, there's fire coming soon. Oh my gosh. Yay, I love when things work. The number of times you try and do something like this and it doesn't work, or even just like a remote camera shooting photos and it doesn't work, and the amount of times I've left a launch site after picking my cameras up, literally in tears. Oh, it's all worth it when things work out. Holy cow.
It didn't overheat.
It did, actually. It did, but it didn't overheat when it was critical to not overheat. Look at the fire. Hooray! That's nifty.
Yeah, I guess it is like 28 centigrade or 82 Fahrenheit in Boca Chica, so it is warm, toasty.
Yeah, I think the CPU of the thing that this is all connected to was at like 70-something Celsius, so slightly spicy.
Slightly spicy.
Speaking of Mox Diamonds, there's Mock Diamonds on a shirt that you can wear. It's an awesome... This is actually one of my favorites that we've pretty much ever done. I wear it all the time. It's a great shirt. If you want to support what we do and help us do more and cooler stuff even, grab a Mock Diamonds shirt.
It's just physics.
It's a good occasion to do so. Yeah, it's physics in shirt form.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that comes on other mediums too, right? It's not just a t-shirt. I think it comes on a mug. It comes in a variety of mediums. So if you're not a t-shirt person, there are other ways you can display your love of Mock Diamonds.
Alex is pointing out in the back channel the other day there was an interview with Tom Mueller that came out, and he was wearing this t-shirt, which was awesome to see.
Yeah, that was a pretty surreal moment where you're like, wait, is he? Yeah, no, yeah, he's wearing the Mock Diamonds shirt. Heck yeah. Oh man, Mock Diamonds, Methalox Mock Diamonds, so beautiful.
The only diamonds I care about.
Right. Am I right? Or you're right. I guess you're right. I'm sorry. I am probably obnoxious, but I'm just riding the adrenaline wave still. Also, an entire 12-ounce Red Bull when I do not have a caffeine tolerance right now. Do we have some more questions we want to jump into?
There's a few more that we could briefly talk about.
What do we got here?
I see some questions about if we'll cover the upcoming Starlink launch. The next Starlink launch is from Vandenberg, so, West Coast, worst coast, or whatever the saying is.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
So unfortunately, we won't have base access to stream that one, but we will be streaming later that day if there's another Starlink launch from Florida.
Cool deal. Now, testing with Ship 26 is very likely wrapped up, but we do have a new video coming out here very shortly, and that is This Week in Spaceflight. If you are like me, believe it or not, and you just cannot keep up with everything going on in the world of spaceflight, because thank goodness there's so much going on right now, we have a new This Week in Spaceflight coming up that will give you everything you need to know with no filler, and yeah, nice quick,
Watch
like
this.
8 to 10 minute package. So that's coming up here in just a few minutes. We're gonna do something special for that video. We don't always do this. We are going to do a premiere, which means this stream will wrap up. We're not going to wrap up just yet, but this stream will wrap up, and then we'll all go hang out in the chat and watch this video as if it was a live thing. You know, it's a live premiere. So we are going to do that here. I believe, what was I told? I should know what I was told. We're going to do that.
Eastern?
Right. So in like
There.
8 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, somewhere in there. Don't make me do math.
If
So
you
yeah,
guys came
let's
from
answer-
here, you
Yeah.
should tag Jack during the premiere, something along the lines of like too much bacon or something like that.
Yeah, and if you don't like
Wow.
the video, you can also blame me in chat because I was the writer. So you can be like, boo Alex, boo Alex. So yeah, go to the premiere and be like, boo Alex.
So let's hang
You
out a
don't
little
like
bit more and watch the testing of Ship 26 sort of wrap up and answer a couple more questions, and then let's go watch This Week in Spaceflight together as a space fam. Really quickly, Daniel, thank you for grabbing an NSF calendar, and Musical Wolves, thank you for the support. Musical Wolves is on a bacon kick today, saying SpaceX is testing bacon in ships. I love it. Sergeant Snake is asking, how will Starship change its attitude in space if the RVACs don't have gimbling? Cold gas thrusters, small burns from the SLR RAPs, sea level Raptors, reaction wheels. Well, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Trevor, you were talking about the ullage gas thrusters. Do you want to sort of walk us through that?
Yeah, so while the stage is burning, it will, even though it's in the vacuum space, it will be using both the vacuum engines up and a little bit of venting from ship right now. While they do...
Testing the thrusters, right?
Yeah. While they're burning, they'll burn both sets of engines, so they'll have roll control and all of that from the sea level engines being able to gimbal. However, when they're just floating through space, that's when they'll use the ullage gas from the tanks to they'll have some special vents, and based on how they vent it, using conservation of momentum, they'll gain control over the rest of the vehicle. So both ullage and sea level engines.
You can actually see that in action right now because they are venting, and those are the RCS thrusters.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's why, sorry, just a quick little thing, because we sometimes, we have a recent video of the differences between Ship 24 and Ship 25, Booster 7, Booster 9, and we mentioned that future vehicles have, are gonna have changes in the vents and things like that. And the reason why it's important is precisely because these vents are the RCS thrusters. So if you know where they are located and things like that, you know how it'll maneuver in space. If they, if they actually will maneuver at some point, if they reach that point in their flight, right? But it is very important. It seems trivial, it's just a vent, whatever. But that's actually how these vehicles change their attitude once the engines are not running, basically.
Let's see here. Sorry, multiple things at once?
There are many things going on right now.
Jay Parik, thank you for the question here. They're saying, I think it's testing engine performance when the tanks aren't at ideal pressures. Might have something to do with expected conditions during HLS, where you might use a lot of ullage. Or maybe even just landing. Like, I do wonder, we saw frost on the header tank with both the pre-burner test and this static fire, and we saw a pretty specific propellant load. Maybe they're testing something to do with landing, whether that's on, the moon or Earth or a soft water landing or a hard water landing or what. But yeah, something to do. I mean, clearly they're doing engine testing, but why this specific engine testing? It's a very good question there from Jay, and a good hypothesis.
I personally suspect it's probably more something on the engine side, just because I feel like they're probably not quite ready to start testing stuff for lunar descent yet, at least on actual ships. However, that is pure conjecture, and it's a good hypothesis, to be honest. It would be interesting to explore that a bit more.
Definitely lots of possibilities here.
Yeah.
We were even joking it might test hot staging, because you can see down below Booster 11 out there at Massey's in the background, like way far in the distance.
Yeah, I honestly, the framing of that is hilariously perfect. So yeah, once again, we are like 4 minutes away from the premiere of This Week in Spaceflight, so let's take like 1 or 2 more questions and make sure all of our members know that we super appreciate all their support. And let's go watch This Week in Spaceflight here in like 4 minutes. Well, now like 3.5 minutes.
I have a
thank
question,
you.
Jack.
Hang on. Thank you to Apocalypse Cow
Okay.
for gifting 5 Red Team memberships. If you got one from Apocalypse Cow, be sure to thank them with a Apocalypse Moo. And John Van der Laar, thank you for the support. They say any discussion about congressional subcommittee hearing results, etc. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
And-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because that's a really good segue for TWIS, for This Week in Spaceflight. We call it TWIS because it's short for This Week in Spaceflight.
Right.
And it sounds nice because it's like twist.
We talk about the whole congressional hearing and on the
Exactly.
FAA and the fish people and all of that in This Week in Spaceflight. Give you all the latest information as we see it. So yeah, definitely let's table that question. It's a good question, and let's discuss it in chat as we watch This Week in Spaceflight. Oh my goodness,
Look at that.
that's beautiful. I love the caution tape too. It's perfect.
Caution.
It's like if
Starships may be firing here.
if you're close enough to a static firing ship, that caution tape is the thing that saves you. You've got some pretty big problems, even if you're fine from the static fire. I don't want to even think about that. But yeah, we're like 2 minutes away here from This Week in Spaceflight, so let's definitely go watch that here in a minute. Let's see. Do we
See a lot of
have?
Alex in chat.
Do we have a nice
premiere.
little question that will wrap, like, put a bow on all of this? I'm looking.
Maybe
I'm
just wanna
looking.
discuss what we expect next from Starbase real quick.
Brilliant, please.
Probably wet dress at some point within the next week. Our current best guess is Sunday based off of some obscure wording from the judge, but we're not 100% sure. And outside of that, we're not 100% sure.
Cool.
But we'll be here to stream it.
We sure will, with your support. So thank you, everybody, for that. Just once again, what a cool day. More data added to SpaceX's pile, which is always a good thing because we need a whole bunch of data to get this system refined and to get humans off planet. So let's all go watch This Week in Spaceflight and discuss the FAA Senate hearing and all of that in chat. Let's do that. Thanks you all for watching. Trevor, Alex, thank you for commentating with me, and thank you for Kevin for being in the background. Are we still here? We're still here. Go to TWIS. Go watch TWIS. This will also automatically redirect you to TWIS. Go watch TWIS. Do it. Yay, full stack. I am going to go watch TWIS. Spin Thwomp We're all gonna go watch twists. Let's go watch twists. Like, in like 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Thanks, Kevin, for producing. You did great.